Part 19. After having everything taken away, she returns as a god. Author, Ching Qian. Chapter 181. It's a bit disappointing, a person who doesn't have any works and no awards can actually record the show with Mr. UN and the others, and is still a resident guest. I've been watching Daxia TV's shows because it's not only terrifying and innovative, but also won't invite anyone like other channels, and invite a bunch of traffic stars who don't have the ability to rely only on fans. Why is this happening this time? I have already said that SI fucking definitely has a gold master. If she didn't, her performance on the night of the group formation the day before yesterday would have been blocked and hidden from the inside, and she could still receive the show on Daxiatai. Hello everyone. SI fucking took off his hat, waved his hand, very calmly, don't take care of me, just leave me a bite of the meal. As soon as the hat was taken off, her entire face was exposed to the camera. The lips are pure, and the skin is so delicate that you can't even see the pores. His eyes were watery, and his eyebrows were picturesque. The surrounding light dimmed for a moment. Among the 5 resident guests present, Ning Luiao knew more about SI fucking. After all, they are all generations, and they may become competitors. Su Jianian had heard a little about it. Before that, SI fucking's name and appearance were completely incompatible with him. After all, one is just emerging, one has been a top performer in the entertainment industry for 2 years, and his status cannot be equated. Shen Ziyuan and Yuan Heping are both of the older generation, and it was only after Daxiatai came forward that they had no contact with the current young stars. At this moment, seeing the real person SI fucking, there was no sound at the scene. Yuan Heping opened his mouth wide, little girl looks too completely indescribable in words. Ning Luiao instantly forgot all the words her agent told her that she had to take Su Jianian's heat. She stood up abruptly and ran to SI fucking, Mr. SI? I'm Ning Luiao, you can just call me Yao Yao. SI fucking raised his hand and touched her head, well, call me whatever you want. I almost forgot that Ning Luiao is a face control. SI fucking is a girl control, I didn't even see her eyes stay on Su Jianian. Su Jianian is also one of the 3 most beautiful men in ancient costumes. To be reasonable, as a passerby, I can say that SI fucking looks at himself in the mirror every day, who else can get into her eyes? Qi Shunning just glanced at it lightly, and then withdrew his gaze. Her occupation is a host, and she is a new generation cultivated by Daxiatai. There's no need to steal the camera like these stars. But at the same time she was a little dissatisfied. Before SI fucking came, she was the youngest and was taken care of by everyone including Su Jianian. When SI fucking came, all eyes were taken away. Doesn't it just have a face? Okay, let's get to know each other, the assistant director said, Mr. SI, this is teacher Yuan and Ping Yuan. SI fucking nodded, Emperor Yuanying. Don't dare, Yuan Heping waved his hand, now it's your young people's world. What teacher Yuan said, you can obviously fight for another 30 years, the assistant director said again, this. SI fucking bent slightly, hello, teacher Shen. This time, it was Shen Ziyuan's turn to be surprised, the little girl actually knows me. She is not in the entertainment industry, her name is well known, but many people don't know her face. SI fucking smiled, I have seen your work. Shen Ziyuan was even more surprised, which one? Is SI fucking a little pretentious? Have you seen Mr. Shen's work? Does she know that there are several categories of brushes? The truly talented Qi Shunning is very low-key, and he is not in a hurry to get close to the seniors. Laughing, so I was stopped by teacher Shen at once, can't I answer it? SI fucking said calmly, the autumn water supplying wind map that you painted 10 years ago. After she took a look at the TND Alliance headquarters building, Gu Huiyan actually wanted to give it to her. So she didn't look at anything. That one, Shen Ziyuan responded slowly, I forgot where I sent it. I am a fan of teacher Shen, I forgot that she even drew this one, SI fucking is fine. Wait, have any of you seen the tidbits of a literary promotional film, SI fucking entered the TND Alliance headquarters building? No way. I have never heard of her calligraphy and painting. This teacher SI should be no stranger to him. The assistant director introduced Su Jianian. Mr. Su is the top of our entertainment circle. If teacher SI has any questions about film and television, you can ask him. SI fucking nodded slightly, politely, and distantly, Mr. Su. Su Jianian looked at the girl with some measure in his eyes, and then smiled, Mr. SI. This is Shuning, the rising star of Daxiatai. The assistant director mentioned Chi Shuning, and he was also very pleased and proud. You are of the same age, so you can talk more. Chi Shuning was very cold. Hello. Okay, all teachers, we need 2 people to form a temporary team now. The assistant director clapped his hands. Who do you want to team up with? Ning Luiao took the lead, follow Ching Ching. Yuan Heping and Shen Ziyuan also said, I also want to be with the little girl. There are so many candidates for teacher SI. The assistant director scratched his head. What about teacher SI? SI fucking raised his eyebrows. Yao Yao speaks first, and I will join her group. Yuan Heping sighed, then I will form an elderly group with teacher Shen. Su Jianian and Chi Shining team up. Chi Shunning breathed a sigh of relief. She was quite worried that SI fucking would choose Su Jianian. After all, Su Jianian's popularity was there, and the popularity rose after a little rubbing. It seems that SI fucking, as a traffic little idol, still has self-knowledge. Ching Ching, we have to make our own lunch from today. Ning Luiao was apprehensive. Can you cook? My parents made me a waste, and I can't even chop vegetables. SI fucking touched his chin. You can't go into the kitchen, you can survive in the wild. The program group prepared iron pots and wood for the 3 groups. It means to ask them to chop wood by themselves. My dear, the first meal is so exciting. Do you have to climb the tree and dig out the bird's nest behind you? Looking forward to Jianian climbing the tree, there is no other reason, just like watching the persecution of him. The 6 of them seem to be Chi Shunning who can cook, but none of the others. Ning Luiao looked at the wood that was thicker than her waist, and her throat rolled hard. Ching Ching, when teacher Su finishes chopping the firewood from their group, we will ask him to come and help us. After all, the 3 words little strength have not been finished yet. SI fucking cracked open a waist-thick piece of wood with a pop. After a few more bangs, the firewood was quickly chopped. At this time, the 2 groups next door picked up the axe, and they haven't figured out the point of force. Ning Luiao. Laughing to death. Yao Yao, people are stupid. What kind of strange woman is SI fucking? This axe makes it so easy. Are you really joking when you think the fitness video she posted, she weight trained that weight, and the muscular man couldn't lift it? This makes it very difficult for the other 2 male guests. Yuan Heping tried to split for a long time, but he didn't split, and laughed at himself. I'm old, I can't do it anymore. I'll do it. SI fucking carried the axe and chopped up Yuan Heping's group. Because Su Jianian also took over a war movie, he has also been exercising this year. Although chopping wood was the first time, it was successfully approved. He silently looked at the scratches on his palm, then looked at SI fucking still intact hand, and let out a slow breath. Is something wrong? I'm going to find something to eat. SI fucking wiped his hands. Yao Yao, make a fire. Ning Luiao returned to her mind in a trance. Why, how do you make a fire? SI fucking had already stood up. I learned from elementary school textbooks, drilling wood to make fire. Ning Luiao. She picked up the wood in a daze, and really started drilling it. Behind the front of the tent. The director did not have any expectations for SI fucking, who was invited by the assistant director, and initially gave her a vase position. This kind of survival program is not a test of the star's acting skills, but a test of life skills. Now many stars do not have the slightest ability in this regard. So Daxiotai went to invite people at that time, but many stars did not dare to pick them up, for fear that they would be black spots after picking up. The director really didn't expect Sci-Fucking to give him such a big surprise, so he slapped the table excitedly. Quick, keep up with the camera, let's see what ingredients she's looking for. Each resident guest has 3 cameras and is responsible for all aspects of filming. Photographer, director, she slips too fast to keep up. The director regretted it. Alas, I should have applied for more drones from the stage to follow her, and it is not too late to apply now. The assistant director lowered his voice. I said it a long time ago, Miss Si is a treasure, there are still others to watch later, your show is going to be popular. The director agreed with it. After thinking about it, he asked again, what else will come later? The assistant director said triumphantly, I won't tell you. In just a few minutes, Sci-Fucking came back. She carried 2 pheasants in her hands. Under the shocked gazes of the other 2 groups, the pheasant was deftly dehaired. Yuen Heping couldn't hold back the foul language, I rely on. Are you a human? It's so cruel, Sci-Fucking, how can you eat pheasant, the blood of the chicken is squirting out, how can you do it? Before you, don't walk on the road in the future, and be careful to splash other people's relics. I can only say that Sci-Fucking's physical fitness must be very good. Chickens run fast and arrest people. She actually arrests 2 people at once. Daughter, you can rest assured to eat, Yuen Heping said, although the program team let us survive, it is impossible for us to starve to death. These are all edible poultry they put. Isn't it wild? Sci-Fucking thought thoughtfully, no wonder there was no challenge when catching it just now. Here, Ning Luiao successfully got out of the fire. Sci-Fucking skewered 2 chickens on a branch and grilled them skillfully. I suddenly had an ominous premonition, please take care of the animals here, and don't get caught by Sci-Fucking. She is so skilled, how can she be so skilled? Stop talking, I'm a fan first, what's wrong with the variety show? Some people can't make variety shows if they don't have stocks. The show is still filming in full swing. Here Jiang Changning also returned home. Mom. Jiang's mother was quite surprised. Why do you come back so often during this time? I see those celebrities in the entertainment industry. They are very busy every day. You are really a busy person. The work has been pushed back, Jiang Changning said lightly. I will soon end my group, so I will terminate the contract. Jiang's mother didn't pay much attention to these insider stories in the entertainment industry. Then you can think about what you want to do. Let's farm. Jiang Changning rolled up his sleeves, then open a coffee shop at the entrance of the village. Sell snacks. No, no, everyone who comes to our village doesn't look good. Jiang's mother refused flatly, but it's really time for you to come back. This year's assessment is about to start, so you have to prepare well. Hearing this sentence, Jiang Changning's eyes became serious. I'm fine, but Dad sighed. You can only ask yourself for more happiness. Jiang's mother sighed. At that time, we can only see if the medicine can survive. Mom, Jiang Changning added, there are rumors outside that we are primitive people. Mother Jiang was furious. Who said that? I can watch TV. Jiang Changning. I came back this time because my friend came here to record the show. Jiang Changning was helpless, so I'll take her over to have a look when the time comes. My friend, are you beautiful? Jiang's mother's eyes lit up. Where's your brother? Take him to meet him. Jiang Changning was instantly indifferent. No. Jiang Changfeng also came back, but he went to the elder village first. Changfeng, come back. The 3rd elder lay on the rocking chair, squinting and smoking a pipe. How about a trip to the city? Did you bring someone back to show your parents? Jiang Changfeng paused. 3rd elder, do we have a spare game cabin? Game cabin. The 3rd elder suddenly opened his eyes. His eyes sharpened a bit. The game cabin represents the number of places that can log into Eternal, and the number of places is to be approved by Liberty Continent. Our 10 places this year are at the beginning of the year. It's already separated. No one knows how the holographic game Eternal was born. After all, at the current international scientific level, holographic technology is not yet mature. Eternal can perfectly simulate a world that is indistinguishable from reality, and gamers can also bring game items out. It is equivalent to communicating the game and reality. The three elders have not figured out how to do this until now. But no matter what, the design and developer of Eternal is definitely a rare genius. That's it. Zhang Changfeng was silent. He heard Sci-fi say that her game cabin was broken, and he wondered if he could get one from the Magic Medicine Alliance and send it to her. Speaking of which, Senior Ghost Hand and Heavenly Doctor is really too elusive. The third elder frowned. I didn't squat for a long time. Zhang Changfeng. Isn't this nonsense? People are very popular in the entertainment industry. Zhang Changfeng tactfully said, why don't you watch more TV shows? I think the talent show Youth is quite good. Maybe there will be some new discoveries. He can only remind here. Oh, speaking of the program, a program was recently recorded in the forest at the entrance of our village. The third elder said, I heard that there are a few good-looking big stars. You can go and watch it when you are, and give it to your father by the way. Mom, take a daughter-in-law back. Zhang Changfeng. He was really scared. But he still asked, where did they record it? I'll take you to see. The third elder put down his pipe. By the way, I'll find one for my grandson as well. Zhang Changfeng was expressionless. Look for it, and see if the Ghost Hand and Heavenly Doctor will take care of you. After the program group finished their meal, except for Chi Shunning, the others were much better to Sci-fi. Let's go to the first village today, the assistant director shouted. One of your tests is coming. Pass a test and earn 1 point, and dinner will be distributed according to the points. Ning Luiao sighed and followed behind Sci-fi, and the 6 came to the gate of the village together. There was an ant who set up a stall at the door. There are all kinds of plants on it, and basically I have never seen it. Your first test is to find something edible in these weeds. The assistant director smiled with his hands behind his back. Teachers, let's get started. Ning Luiao, doesn't this look exactly the same? Chi Shunning frowned and looked at it for a long time, then shook his head. Her minor was in pharmacology, but couldn't tell what. Shunning hasn't seen it. Shen Ziyuan was surprised. It seems that we haven't gone deep into the forest, so these things are still unclear. Su Jianian raised his hand. Director, can I apply for off-site assistance? The director said slowly, okay, let's see who you can ask. Su Jianian. Laughing to death, everyone is helpless. The show crew is so ruthless, even people who dig wild vegetables all year round may not know them all. Sci-fi pointed to the wild grass on the ground, and smiled, can I try it? The surroundings suddenly became quiet, and the barrage was even more stagnant. A few seconds later, a giant super barrage took over the screen. I rely on, are you not? Good morning. Wow. It's like this, I've been banned from the school again, and the rest of the surrounding area can only wait for me to unblock it. Woo woo. When the pictures of Ching Ching and the duo come out, I will hold another peripheral activities in the summer vacation. The two-person picture is a combination of ancient and modern, and Ahung's ancient costumes are modern. 23333. After having everything taken away, she returns as a god. Author, Qing Qian. Chapter 182. The mooses who rushed to the live broadcast room were also confused. Wife, don't scare me. What did Ching Ching do before? Wouldn't he be adopted by the Zhou family and exiled to the countryside to farm every day? Traffic stars are like this, they like blogging gimmicks, and fans are also brainless. They can only praise and not belittle them. They only criticize every day, which is really annoying. When the ant saw her good looking, she immediately waved her hand, and gave her a small ponytail, smiling, "Come on, girl, chew slowly, and ask ant if you don't understand anything." Sujianian, who previously said he would seek help outside the venue. Although the people here don't even know about Sujianian, the top class, but it turns out that everyone is a face control. Who doesn't like beautiful women? Anyway, I love beautiful women. Si fucking rolled up his sleeves and stretched out his hand. Her hands were very beautiful, with long bones and well-defined knuckles. Lined with green leaves, it is more white. Not to mention the audience in the live broadcast room, even Sujianian and Ning Luiao were all staring at her hands. "Well, these are edible." Si fucking picked them up and said, "This one is sweet, this one is spicy, you can't eat these, they will be poisonous after they are boiled, and they will be poisoned within an hour of eating them. If you seek medical treatment in time, you can still live, you see." She picked up a plant resembling a ginkgo leaf and held it up for others to see. The assistant director and Yuen Heping took a step back neatly. Si fucking turned his head, "Why are you standing so far away? I said that it is poisonous after cooking." Yuen Heping was sweating on his forehead, and his voice was difficult. "Protective measures must be in place." Yuen Heping, "I'm afraid, don't come here, don't come here." Laughing to death, Si fucking is really funny, she is so suitable for reality TV variety shows. Looking at Auntie's eyes, Si fucking really separated the poisonous and non-toxic ones. This has to be long-term farming in the countryside to distinguish. It's hard to imagine what life your wife used to live in Zeogia. Si fucking still didn't know that the Muses had made up their minds into a miserable life with a miserable life and were chatting with their aunt. Beyond the village, behind the bushes, the third elder and Zhang Changfeng came over. "Yo, Changfeng, look." The third elder had sharp eyes. "That female star, she looks really good." Zhang Changfeng looked at the place where his finger was, his expression stiffened. "It's bad. It's incredible, there are not only weeds, but also some medicinal materials on the stall." The third elder squinted his eyes and took a breath. "Changfeng, this female star knows medicine, and she looks good. I think it is very good. Meet your other half standards." Zhang Changfeng took a deep breath. "Third elder, I think you really want me to die. Ghost hands and heavenly doctors do not know the properties of medicines, so how can they steal people from the king of hell?" Still in line with his other half standards, he can go straight to the ground. The third elder was still talking to himself, and Si fucking glanced over here with a sense of awareness. The third elder was surprised. Did this girl find us? The Magic Medicine Alliance has been passed down to this day, and it is not enough to have medical skills alone. No matter what, there is some ancient kung fu in the body. Zhang Changfeng was expressionless. "Yeah, be careful that she will let you die without a corpse. Didn't I just urge you to go on a blind date? Are you talking to me like an enemy?" The third elder glared at him. "Okay, you should prepare for the assessment for a while, and then look for someone after the assessment." The first stage of the program team passed smoothly, and the Si fucking and Ning Luiao team got the first point. The group then walked into the forest. Ning Luiao followed Si fucking closely, seeing her eyes with a bit of inquiry. "Ching Ching, have you been here before?" Si fucking did find this place quite familiar. Chu Lingyun has taken scenes here before. Chu Lingyun's directorship almost stopped the work of the rest of the crew, and he did everything by himself. This caused the other staff to be even more frightened, and they could continue to work hard. That's how the King of Involution was formed. Si fucking shook his head. "No, the scenery is good. This is one of the filming locations for Nagano." Chi Shunning suddenly said, "It is also teacher Chu Lingyun's first movie. Nanzhou is close to the sea, and going out from the mountains and forests here is Nanwuhe. The later program group also recorded at sea. Director Chu filmed Nagano here." Yuen Heping was surprised. I didn't expect him to come to such a remote place to shoot the scene, but it is indeed natural, much better than the post-production special effects produced. Chi Shunning smiled lightly. Mr. Chu is the #1 director of Daxia after all. Actually, if you really have knowledge, you can compare them at once. I fucking will only say that the scenery is good. Chi Shunning has the skills of a host, and the poems come casually. By the way, I got a gossip that director Chu is about to leave the mountain, and he has a new book in his hand. No way. After the great Demon King retired, he never wrote a script again. There was the right hand of God in front and Chu Lingyun in the back. Could it be that Ilan really wants to make a comeback? It may be to choose a newcomer. Didn't Chi Shunning study abroad for a year? She is director Chu's little junior sister. I hope the program team can give some strength and ask her some news related to Chu Lingyun. Today is the first day. The program group did not embarrass the 6 guests too much, and the main thing is to get familiar with the terrain here first. We got back to camp at 5 o'clock. Si fucking and Ning Luiao accumulated 7 points, almost all of them. The other 3 groups of food were pitifully small. This is definitely not enough to eat. Si fucking stroked his chin. I'll grab a few more. She still moved very fast, and came back shortly after, this time with 4 chickens. The director was silent for a while and asked, "How many chickens did you put?" The on-site coordinator was stunned. "Big, about a dozen." "What kind of chicken did you buy?" "It's too good to catch." The director had a headache. "Go get some fast ones. By the way, get some big geese." The big geese were so powerful that he didn't believe that Si fucking could catch several of them so easily. Maybe peck her and run around. It's also a good point to watch. Ning Luiao looked at Si fucking's roast chicken at noon, and she also ordered a little, and Su Jianian and a few others also came to help. Soon the 4 roast chickens came out. Si fucking began to divide the chicken legs. When handed it to Chi Shunning, she refused. "Thank you, I'm a vegetarian." Shunning has always been a vegetarian. Why did Si fucking give her chicken legs? Isn't this intentional? Just a little green tea. I'm really convinced. Yes, your Chi Shunning graduated from the broadcasting department of Xia University, but he has never hosted a show independently, so does Ching Ching have to know her? Who is she? Si fucking handed it to Su Jianian, who was behind. Su Jianian didn't refuse, but took it over, looking at her with a deeper estimation. Yuan Heping was very happy to eat. "Fu Qing, how did you prepare the sauce?" "It's better than what I ate at the barbecue restaurant." "There are a lot of things to use." Si fucking held his chin. "I will send you the materials list later, but the materials are a bit hard to find. When the time comes, you can give me an address and send you a bag." In the past, she suffered frequent injuries and often ran in the wild, so she specially made the sauce and used a lot of medicinal herbs. Okay, Yuan Heping was very happy. "Let's add a WeChat friend while the phone is not taken away." Shenzai Yuan laughed at him. "You are really old, you will take advantage of the little girl." "What's the matter?" Yuan Heping was not ashamed at all. "If I had something good, I would definitely want to help Cheng." The topic of several people never left Si fucking. Chi Shunning, who was eating cold weeds, lost his appetite and went out for a walk. After the meal was over, the sun went down. "Everyone, take a good rest." The assistant director came over and clapped his hands. "Tomorrow we will officially start to survive. First hand over everything you brought, especially the food, even compressed biscuits." Soon, the staff took out all the food hidden by the guests. The floor was full of snacks brought by Ning Luiao. Pork chop, chocolate pie, potato chips, Coke, a whole lot. Su Jianian couldn't help laughing. "Aren't you afraid of being scolded by your manager if you eat so much?" Ning Luiao wanted to cry without tears. "Isn't it consuming a lot of energy to survive? It just so happens that I can eat more. It's all right now, it's gone." Si fucking sluggage was all at Shanglu. and she only brought bedding and other daily necessities. Mr. Si still understands that we are here to survive. Let's see if there is nothing to eat here. As the assistant director was speaking, he took out a dog from the bag. An unexpected result. Dog, I'm not a human, but you are a real dog. Even if you survive by yourself, you still have to pull me. Si fucking took Xiaobai unhurriedly and put it in the big pocket of his coat. Assistant director, don't worry, it's only the size of a palm, and if the fur is removed, it really doesn't have a piece or two of meat. It's not enough. I eat. Deputy director. That's what he said, but why does he feel that something is not right? Poor Ching Ching baby has an extra mouth beside her. What kind of dog is this? It's a bit like a Pomeranian, but with such short legs, it's a bit like a corgi. I don't know, but it's really cute. Look at its fluffy eyes and purple eyes. Fucking, your dog is really cute. Yuan Heping couldn't help but patted Xiaobai's head. The price is not low, right? Speaking of this, Si fucking's fist couldn't help but harden. If teacher Yuan wants it, I will sell it to you for a penny. Yuan Heping waved his hand. I'm just talking casually. Xiaobai shook the little skirt that was on his buttocks, and stood up his chest proudly. Of course it's a cute little fairy. Su Jianian paused. Can it understand what we're talking about? Ah, yes, Si fucking casually said, it can also write Chinese characters. Wait, this is a bit blown. Stop blowing, survive well, you will definitely have a lot of fans. This is a primitive village, and the environmental protection is very good. Yuan Heping glanced around. The program team is really bothered, and the internet signal is only available at the accommodation. If we go out during the day, it will be completely exhausted. Ancient people. Of course, Si fucking knew that this place was not a primitive tribe, but a place of seclusion for the Alliance of Divine Doctors. The Alliance of Divine Doctors is really good at finding places. It is no wonder that there are no records left in the history books, and they are considered by historians to be the legend of the deified Emperor Yin. She took out her mobile phone and found Zhang Changfeng's avatar. Original village? Zhang Changfeng. Zhang Changfeng, it can also be understood in the same way. On the one hand, there is very little communication with the outside world, and few people will step in here. But on the other hand, the bosses of the Divine Doctor League are all playing the holographic game Eternal. It is not to say that it is backward, nor is it possible to say that it is advanced. Pretty weird. Si fucking contacted Shang Lu and sent another message to Zhang Changfeng. I have someone send some good ingredients to Ningning, please remember to move it there. Zhang Changfeng. If he had known earlier, he should not have stopped her at the entrance of the alley and said the words ghost doctor. Now he has been caught and completely reduced to a worker. Zhang Changfeng replied with a received, put the hood of the sweater over his head, and went out. After the sun completely went down, this mountain forest was pitch black. The program team specially prepared street lights and pulled in several lines. At Shanlingkao, Zhou Zhonghe arrived in Nanzhou under Zhou Xianyu's arrangement. Mr. Zhou, this is the place, the guide said. In front is the camp where Daxiatai was filming the show. They all live in tents at night, surrounded by bodyguards sent by the Daxia Security Bureau, but it's still okay to sneak in. Okay, Zhou Zhonghe squinted. I heard that you have a drug seller here. First find a way to make her faint. Don't worry, money is absolutely indispensable. That time, when he was drunk, his lust came up, and he didn't know that Si fucking still had some skills. As a result, he sneaked into Si fucking's bedroom late at night, but was subdued and went to the hospital lying down. This time, such a low-level mistake cannot be made again. Others participate in variety shows, conscientious work must not collapse. Si fucking participated in the variety show. Well, if there are wild boars to eat, first chop a pound of firewood. Fans. Just because the school is closed doesn't mean that my experiments have stopped. I'm really busy every day, and many full-time authors are much better than me. Xiao and Xiang have a message from a writer on the Goddess Festival to be healthy. Happy holidays everyone, see you tomorrow. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. After having everything taken away, she returns as a god. Author, Qing Qian. Chapter 183. Anyway, the entertainment industry is so chaotic, it is not uncommon to be supported by the financial master in order to climb up. Even if Sci-fi is innocent now, he will be sent to someone else's bed sooner or later. The Zhou family has raised her for 13 years, and it should be rewarded. There are a lot of old people in the village who understand the properties of medicine. The guide was stunned. But they are all very xenophobic, and they want to buy that kind of medicine, so I'm afraid they can't do it. It's just a request between husband and wife. The village here seems to be quite backward, so give me more money. Zhou Zhonghe took out a bank card at random. There are 500,000 in it, you can take 100,000. Selling medicine, I'll give you another 500,000 when it's done. To him, 100,000 is the price to go out and play casually once. But for the people in this village, it is sky high. No matter what, the medicine had to be sent to him respectfully. Mr. Zhou is really generous. The guide was ecstatic. I will definitely do what you ordered. Zhou Zhonghe waved his hand, and after answering the phone, his expression became a little unhappy. The passerby observed his words and expressions. Mr. Zhou, what's the problem? He can earn hundreds of thousands of dollars by buying a medicine by leading the way, and he is not at a loss at all. My second sister Zhou Zhonghe didn't care much. I said that since the people in this village are skilled in medicine, let me ask the trace of the genius doctor called Ghost Doctor. How can I find it for her? This. Besides, I can still find people who the Yu family can't find. More than 2 months ago, Yu Yao came to Zhou's house to mention it only once, and Zhou Xianyu was very interested. Now that Zhou Xianyu was forced to be temporarily laid off, she was even more anxious about it. Zhou Zhonghe glanced at the forest with some disgust, and this place, poor and backward, don't even have a Wi-Fi signal. How could a ghost doctor come to this poor place? That's not necessarily true. The leader shook his head and lowered his voice. Mr. Zhou, to tell you the truth, the people in this village are quite chatty, and I can actually see a few people wearing white clothes in the middle of the night. The helmet is dangling outside, and I don't know what it is doing. Zhou Zhonghe was even more disgusted. Maybe some have a mental illness. He will leave immediately after finishing his work, and he will never stay in such a backward place for one more second. The show team is still filming here. At night, there are more viewers watching the live broadcast. Why do they look so good on me? For survival in the wild, I can make 2 more bowls of instant noodles. Watching Sci-fi eat, I always feel very appetizing and eating. Damn, this woman is blocking my way to lose weight. She looks like a little squirrel when she eats and puffs out her cheeks. My wife is so cute. How much wine you drank before I wake you up? Why didn't Sci-fi give her pet some food? Is she drooling if she doesn't see it? Live broadcast, you at least make a show. Xiaobai was staring at the gold bracelet in Ning Luiao's hand. His eyes lit up. Very hungry. I want to eat. But its rations are all carried by Shang Lu, and he can't even steal it. Ching Ching, is it hungry? Ning Luiao noticed. Can it eat roast chicken legs? It doesn't eat chicken. Sci-fi shoved Xiaobai into his arms unceremoniously. It's a picky eater. At night, it will go out to find something to eat, and it will be allergic to other foods. Xiaobai's eyes were bitter. Hateful dog owner. Okay, teachers, please remember that this is a survival game. The assistant director walked over again with his hands behind his back. So tonight you will sleep over there. Several people turned their heads. Ning Luiao was frightened. Deputy Director, there is a grass over there. Yuan Heping, you don't want us to sleep on the grass, do you? Of course it's impossible, the assistant director slapped. Didn't that prepare materials for you? If you can, let alone tents, you can even build wooden houses. Yuan Heping looked over again and saw a pile of round wood. Good guy. This show is so exciting, I must chase it from beginning to end. Looking forward to tomorrow. I heard that tomorrow we will have to survive in the wilderness to find supplies. Then do it yourself. I fucking stood up. I've eaten enough, it's time to relax my muscles and bones. Before the other 5 people moved, I fucking had already walked to the wood, easily picked up one, and placed it on the level ground. She brought back the nails and hammer and began to beat. The expression was quite light. Netizens in the live broadcast room were shocked. This woman should not. TMD, is she really going to build a wooden house? She used to be a carpenter, right? Obviously not, she is clearly skilled in everything, so skilled that it makes me numb. Ning Luiao became numb. The audience watching the live broadcast was also silent. The director is already thinking about whether they should shoot in another location, such as throwing Si fucking on an isolated island in the South China Sea. The assistant director saw what he was thinking. I think it will wait for you to see it a month later. It is estimated that Miss Si can build a city for you. Director. Is this humming playing infrastructure game? Let's hurry over there too, Yuan Heping hurriedly said, otherwise, there will be no place to sleep in a while. Qi Shunning frowned and stepped forward reluctantly. She had just put her hand on the wood when it was punctured by the barb on it. Qi Shunning was in pain, but when he saw that Si fucking was very relaxed, he was not far behind and started to work. Every camera is shooting, and more eyes are focused on Si Fu Qing Shen. The more you watch, the more numb the audience becomes. So strong, she even made a nest for Xiaobai. Si fucking survival skills are too strong. What has she experienced before? So curious. Popular science in the front row. Link Hongxiuojia, very disgusting. They adopted Qing Qing but kept bullying her after the death of the old man. They intensified. Love and love, the beauty and strength in reality are miserable. I am not a fan, I am not a person. It's done. Si fucking clapped his hands. Yao Yao, you sleep here, I live next to you. Ning Luiao was at a loss as he held the wood. She didn't seem to be doing anything. Si fucking turned the hammer in his hand. Mr. Shen, let me come. Shen Ziyuan wiped his sweat and smiled. I'm really bothering you. She sighed. This kid must have suffered a lot before. Seeing that after Si fucking finished helping Shen Ziyuan and Yuan Heping, he set up a bonfire and started to rest. Qi Shunning couldn't help but say, is she too fond of one over the other? She can help us too. There are too few people who can sink their hearts to watch the live broadcast every day, and only loyal fans will watch it from morning to night, and they need a lot of free time. Most netizens will watch the final clip. Qi Shunning can imagine how many shots Si fucking will have after the first phase goes live. The more lenses, the more fans you will attract. Not to mention that this is the first survival reality show of the Daxia Empire, and it has the absolute guarantee of Daxiatai. When the show is broadcast, Si fucking's fans will definitely skyrocket. Su Jianian picked up the rope and tied the wood. His tone was calm. Mr. Yuan and Mr. Shen are both over 60, so naturally they want to help. We young people are strong, so let an 18-year-old girl help? I feel ashamed. Qi Shunning was stunned and said nothing. Finally, she looked at the crooked tent, and her already bad mood worsened. She only ate cold salad in the evening, and now she is hungry. Over there, Si fucking roasted the remaining chicken breast and made it into a small snack. The scent stimulated the taste buds. Qi Shunning remembered the phrase only vegetarian she said, and couldn't help but regret it. But there is no way, she has been saying in the public that she is a vegetarian and can't collapse her personality. Chi Shunning's fans naturally noticed. Shunning is so miserable, SI fucking doesn't know how to help. Why don't you come to survive if you don't have the skills? Why would you let someone feed you food? The more you practice, the better. You are all on the survival show, don't be squeamish. Why is Chi Shunning holding it all the time? It's different from when she was hosting the show. At 10 o'clock, the tent was set up, and the live broadcast just stopped. It will open again at 7 a.m. SI fucking put Ziobai in the kennel in front of the door, and got into the built wooden house by himself. And sprinkle some of her special realgar powder around. There are indeed many mosquitoes, snakes, and ants here. At 1 o'clock at night, someone came to visit. The tool man Zhang Changfeng came in. I will prepare a wooden house for you. SI fucking's expression was sloppy. I made it myself. Zhang Changfeng. As expected of you. You said that your game cabin is broken. I went to ask the elders. Zhang Changfeng said, it's too late, the quota was issued at the beginning of the year. I still have a game helmet, but it definitely won't work. Gaming helmets are not intended to replace gaming pods. The only advantage of gaming helmets is that they are convenient and easy to carry. That's it, it's okay, I have a way here. SI fucking nodded slightly. Ning Ning doesn't have a place. It's hard to get a place. You have to pass the league's assessment for 5 consecutive years. Zhang Changfeng shook his head. And the game is too dangerous. My dad doesn't want Ning Ning to be involved. Eternal is a holographic game, which is different from 3D games like Oracle. Once you get revenge in the game, you will be chased into reality. Especially those who walk on the tip of a knife. It's very dangerous. SI fucking's expression softened a bit. If you're not careful, you will die. Dead. Zhang Changfeng frowned. Although it simulates 100% pain, it won't be affected after going offline. Holographic technology is linked to the human nerve, not the body. Of course, it is not that there has been no brain death because of the emotional fluctuations in the game. It's just that there are too few such things. Once the game cabin detects the player's abnormality, it will immediately cut off the neural link. SI fucking's voice was flat. That's because you didn't play that mode. Zhang Changfeng couldn't refute, that's true. His current account level is only 3 stars, and he has been able to bring out the items in the game. The highest known rating is 6 stars. It is hard to imagine what benefits a 6-star account will bring to players. Zhang Changfeng's eyes deepened. You should be a 6-star account, right? Don't ask less, and be less curious. SI fucking raised his eyebrows. It will help you survive. When Zhang Changfeng was telling the story of the Divine Medical Alliance one by one, he suddenly smelled a very faint aroma. His sense of smell is very keen, and he can clearly perceive the aroma from a distance from the tent. For the first time, Zhang Changfeng felt incredible. Someone wants to give you medicine. Is it crazy to prescribe medicine to ghosts and heavenly doctors? And the medicine smelled very bad. He tasted herbs with Dad Zhang since he was a child, and he had already produced a lot of antibodies in his body, but he just found it unpleasant to smell. Then wait a minute and see who wants to play with me so much. SI fucking kicked him. You're about to pretend to be dizzy. Zhang Changfeng. He closed his eyes and forced himself to faint at the tent door. SI fucking wrapped himself in a sleeping bag, and then slowly rolled to the innermost. 10 minutes later, after Zozong he made sure that there was no movement, he carefully walked through the bushes to the tent on the edge. Next to the tent is the doghouse where Ziobai lives. Ziobai opened one eye perfunctorily, glanced at Zozong he, and closed it again. Hopefully this man will carry some gold on him and let him eat a few bites. Zozong he also noticed the man lying at the door, and tooted in his heart. It seems that SI fucking is really restless, and dares to fool around with other stars on the night of the show. Seeing Zhang Changfeng's handsome eyebrows and outstanding temperament, he naturally thought that he and Sci-Fucking were the stars who recorded the show together. Zhou Zonghe didn't care about Zhang Changfeng, and crept into the wooden house. The guide told him that the medicine was very strong, and if he smelled it, he would faint, and he would not feel any sensation. This time he can have fun. Zhou Zonghe walked quickly to the wooden house. He swallowed and reached out to pull the sleeping bag wrapped by the girl. And just before the hand touched, there was a sudden click and his neck was pinched by a slender porcelain white hand. Zhou Zonghe's pupils suddenly dilated, and he was about to scream out subconsciously. But he still couldn't make a sound. Sci-Fucking directly lifted his chin and smiled slightly. I told you, be quiet, don't disturb other people. Is this caught? Zhang Changfeng walked in. Who is this? Looking at Zhang Changfeng, Zhou Zonghe's brain has stopped turning. Why are both of them okay? Isn't it very medicinal? How did he get caught by Sci-Fucking again? From the Zhou family, Sci-Fucking's fox eyes narrowed slightly. It turns out that the next one is you. I was looking for you, and they came to my door. My luck has indeed improved a lot. Zhou Zonghe stared. You. Let's go. Sci-Fucking squeezed his throat like that and dragged him out. Go to your side, it's not easy to do things here. Zhang Changfeng nodded and led the way. Sci-Fucking followed him around a dozen turns, and it took a full hour before arriving in front of a small village. This place, no one leads the way, is really hard to find. It is no wonder that the League of Magical Doctors has been concluded by historians that it does not exist. These people are too good at hiding. My parents and Ning Ning are both asleep, there is no one here. Zhang Changfeng glanced. What are you going to do with him? Of course I'll play it first, and then leave it to the professionals. Sci-Fucking shrugged. I'm a good law-abiding citizen. Zhang Changfeng. Do you believe him to see this? So you fainted? Sci-Fucking looked at Zhou Zonghe, who had passed out. You woke him up. The tool man Zhang Changfeng used violence to force Zhou Zonghe to wake up expressionlessly. As soon as Zhou Zonghe woke up, he would shout again, but this time Zhang Changfeng controlled him. What broke the silence was the ringing of the phone. Caller ID. Zhou Zianyu. Sci-Fucking raised his eyebrows and picked it up. Brother, is the matter over? Zhou Zianyu said. You remember what I told you? Inquire about the senior ghost doctor. My position has been temporarily replaced by Zhou Yuanlin, and the Zhou group cannot be controlled by them. Already. Senior Ghost Hand and Heavenly Doctor is our only chance to contact the Yu family and even the Mo family. You must pay more attention. Sci-Fucking listened with great interest, and said unhurriedly, don't worry, second sister, you send a reporter over as soon as possible. She's dizzy. It's a good time. I also have eyes on the ghost doctor you mentioned, and I'm still inquiring. As soon as there is news, I will notify you immediately. The male voice spit out fluently from her mouth, without the slightest pause. Zhang Changfeng raised his head suddenly. Zhou Zonghe was even more horrified. You. To be able to imitate his voice, who is Sci-Fucking? Zhou Zianyu was relieved now, and didn't find anything unusual. I called the reporter a long time ago, and I will rush over early in the morning, but her show is live, so she can't escape. She waited for Sci-Fu to fall. Looking for a ghost doctor, Sci-Fucking hung up the phone and asked kindly, do you want me to help you find it? You're looking for it. Zhou Zonghe was extremely frightened, but he still held a contemptuous attitude. Do you know who the ghost hand doctor is? You said you could find it? Do you think you're very powerful? Zhang Changfeng stared at him. Then you are more powerful. You gave medicine to the ghost hand and heavenly doctor, and you have done things that even the Magic Medical Alliance dared not. Double drop ovo. Zhang Changfeng, it's really not easy for me. Good morning. Cheers to Ching Ching Lai Zhang monthly. After having everything taken away, she returns as a god. Author, Ching Qian. Chapter 184. If he had the courage to resist Sci-fucking, he would not have become a tool man. The ignorant are truly fearless. Zhang Changfeng even envied Zhou Zonghe's courage. This courage was given to him, but he did not dare to give Zhang Changning a laxative in return. Can only be dumb to eat coptis, can't speak. Zhou Zonghe's brain buzzed, and he was deaf for a moment. What did you say? What ghosts and heavenly doctors, what magical medical alliances? Zhou Zonghe has been idle all the time, and only knows how to eat, drink, and have fun. But the four major alliances of the three major families are the forces that have been passed down for thousands of years in the Great Xia dynasty, and 3-year-old children know it. The League of Magical Doctors was judged to be a legend because even historians could not find any trace of its existence. Therefore, although the Ling Meng, supernatural administration, is the head of the four major alliances, the reputation of the God Medical Alliance is even greater. Anyway, you're quite brave. Zhang Changfeng showed no expression. I must give the third elder a good toast about your heroic deeds when I go back. Blind the eyes of the three elders. Tell me, what are you looking for from me? Sci-fucking leaned back on the chair. I'm in a good mood today. If you tell me, I might be able to satisfy you. Zhang Changfeng was quite surprised. Are you in a good mood when you encounter this kind of thing? One person ate 3 chickens at night. Sci-fucking recalled the barbecue that night and sighed, the feng shui here is good. The chickens raised are all delicious and the meat is delicious. I will catch a few more another day. Zhang Changfeng. Zhou Zonghe couldn't react at all, and the pain was not as shocking as he was at this moment. Is Sci-fucking a ghost doctor? What an international joke. If it wasn't for Zhou Xianyu to speak, he would never have heard the title of Ghost Hand and Heavenly Doctor. But after Zhou Xianyu explained it to him, he knew that he was a very amazing doctor. The King of Hell wants people to die 3 times, and the Ghost Doctor makes people live for 5 times. The ghosts and heavenly doctors are all elderly people. How old is Sci-fucking? I just turned 18 at the end of last year. How could she be a ghost doctor? If Sci-fucking was a ghost doctor, with what he and Zhou Qinjia have done to her over the years, can it still be dragged to the present? Do you think you said you were you? Zhou Zonghe didn't want to believe it at all, and almost roared, the ghost doctor is a genius doctor, what are you? Before he could finish his words, his face suddenly twisted, and his body twitched in pain. Zhou Zonghe was pinching his neck, his face was blue and purple, as if he was about to breathe out. After a few seconds, the pain passed, and he was finally able to take a deep breath, but his expression was completely frightened. Zhang Changfeng frowned. In the dark alley that day, Sci-fucking said it was not a lie to let him disappear silently. Sci-fucking held his chin, very interested. You continue. I said it. Zhou Zonghe was frightened, and he began to kowtow frantically. Yes, it was you who rescued the young master of the Yu family. The young master of the Yu family asked my second sister to help me find it, so as to catch up with the Yu family. Relationship, I didn't even know your name before this. Zhang Changfeng frowned, young master of the Yu family. Are the people of the Yu family worthy of being rescued by ghosts and heavenly doctors? The Divine Doctor Alliance also invited ghosts and heavenly doctors to save people, but was unable to invite them. Later, the only time the Ghost Hand and Heavenly Doctor came to the rescue was because it blocked her way. This is not playing cards according to the routine. I did save a few people. Sci-fucking's expression did not fluctuate, and he was lazy. I can't remember it, it's not an important thing, why should I remember it? Zhang Changfeng was silent. For others, it is enough to remember the life-saving grace of a lifetime, but it is not worth mentioning here at all. Forgive your life, my lord. Zhou Zonghe still had the courage before. My lord, I know it's wrong, it's because I have no eyesight, you are a ghost doctor, I should be damned. I shouldn't question your words. Okay, I understand. I fucking stood up and said lightly, but I'm not interested in seeing the young master of the U family as you say. Yes, yes, how does he deserve to see you? He doesn't deserve to carry your shoes for you. Zozong he was still begging for mercy, your lord has a lot, spare me. Spare my life. Although this name is quite a middle school, it's actually quite impressive. I fucking folded his arms, well, but those who knew my true identity in the past have gone to hell. As soon as these words came out, Zozonghe's nerves were completely crushed, his eyes darkened, and he fainted. Zhang Changfeng also took a few steps back. What are you doing standing so far away? Come here and let me see the craftsmanship of your divine Dr. Alliance. I fucking glanced at him, I don't believe you can't use poison, so I'll kill you if you don't. She smiled, as if she was talking about killing chickens. Zhang Changfeng sighed and took out a medicine bottle from his pocket. He stretched out his hand to remove Zozonghe's chin, and closed it with a click after feeding it in. Zozonghe woke up from the pain again. Especially the lower body, like being bitten by 10,000 insects, the pain is numb. You like to insult girls, it's useless to keep it. I fucking lowered his head, I'll help you, thank you. Zozonghe broke out in cold sweat, and his eyes were bloodshot. By the way, do you know why your Zhou family is so unlucky? I fucking bent down, with a cold smile on his lips. Actually, it has always been unlucky, and it developed well because you took my luck. You are the third now, come one by one, I'm not in a hurry. How much you took? Spit it all out for me, especially your second sister. Zozonghe's eyes widened. Qiyun, you. No wonder Madame Zhou has been babbling on for a short time. No wonder Master Miaoguang of Liushan Temple would say such words. There is really such a mysterious reason. Zozonghe's body twitched, but this time he couldn't bear it any longer, and he passed out in pain. There was silence in the house. In the end, Zhang Changfeng broke the silence. You just said these things in front of me, and you believed me so. I fucking turned his head and raised his eyebrows. Actually, on the first day we met, I poisoned you. Zhang Changfeng's expression changed suddenly. Just kidding, I don't believe you, but I do believe in Ning Ning. I fucking said in a relaxed tone, of course you can tell and see how long you can live. Zhang Changfeng pursed his lips tightly and changed the subject. How long are you going to record the show here? What, are you going to be my nurse? I fucking touched his chin. You actually look pretty good, at least better than the top class in my group. Zhang Changfeng, thank you for your compliment. You throw this person into the bushes around the show group at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, and then find a few wild dogs. I fucking said, I'm very relieved that you can take medicine. Zhang Changfeng took a deep breath, okay. So he is still a tool man. 7:30 in the morning. The other 5 guests got up one after another to wash up. Qi Shunning didn't sleep well all night, and his legs were full of mosquito bites. She could only wear long-sleeved trousers to cover them all. Seeing that Ning Luiao was refreshed, Qi Shunning was stunned. Did you sleep well last night? It's good, Ning Luiao said. You gave me earplugs, aren't you ready? Qi Shunning, no. I'm not here for vacation, so what to do with these things? Life here is even more difficult than the year she studied abroad. Qi Shunning regretted taking it. At 8 o'clock, the live broadcast officially started. The guests also entered the camera. Where's your wife? I got up early in the morning to see my wife. How come my big wife is gone? Look at the fresh ching ching on a new day, this show is going to explode. Where's teacher Si? The director was also taken aback. Isn't she in her cabin? No, the on-site coordinator scratched his head. I knocked on the door just now, but there was no response. Then why don't you hurry and look for it? The director was anxious. This place is so remote and there are all kinds of beasts on the mountain, so don't be eaten for a while. On-site coordinator. The hunter and the prey may be confused. The other guests also knew that Sci-fucking was gone. Ning Luiao was also anxious, I'll look for it right away. Chi Shunning was reluctant in her heart, but she was still very concerned. Why did she run around? Didn't she say the reason? Yeah, leaving the team alone without even saying a word is a bit too much. Would you waste other people's time looking for her? Perhaps there is some emergency that is in danger. Keyboard warrior, accumulate some virtue. There, over there, is Ching Ching baby. The first person to discover Sci-fucking was Su Jianian, who gave the director a gesture. The director breathed a sigh of relief. Su Jianian glanced at the girl who was walking slowly. Mr. Si, are you going? I went out for a run for a while. Sci-fucking took off his hat, then I asked an elder sister to buy a basket of eggs and dried beef. This is a flatbread. It's just out of the oven and it's still hot. We have breakfast. Landed. The director who is about to let the guests go for food. Photography team. It's too hard to shoot for them. My dear, Sci-fucking is actually here for a vacation, right? How did you get so much stuff out of a run? If you don't have hamsters, you will hoard them. Didn't the program team collect all the materials? Where did the money come from? Yuan Heping asked the doubts of the audience in the live broadcast room, and his voice was difficult. Where do you get the money to buy eggs? All their suitcases were taken away last night, only clothes and daily necessities were left. This Sci-fucking was stunned. Eldest sister's husband has gone out, and she has been away for the past few days, and her waist is not good, so I helped to collect the crops in the field, and the eldest sister gave me the homemade hand-shredded beef and flatbread. I have some money left. Saying that, she shook the $50 bill in her hand. Yuan Heping. The audience also. Sci-fucking put down the eggs and cakes. I'll go back to wash up first. The door of the cabin was closed, and the others came to their senses one after another. As expected of you, Sci-fucking. The program bug is correct. Will the director be so angry that he will increase the difficulty of the later levels? The director's face turns green. The director really had a headache. He asked the assistant director to find someone to fill the seat, not to let someone down. Go, hide the supplies better, the director instructed the staff, lowering his voice, elevate the difficulty of her path, and she must not let her pass too smoothly. How does this make others play? Director, there are a bunch of reporters outside. The on-site coordinator ran over, wiping sweat. I want to come in and shoot. Who allowed these reporters to come here? The director lowered his face. Didn't you tell them that I was recording the show here? There are actually quite a few villages here. Before the show started, he had already discussed with the villagers here that he would never disturb their daily life. These entertainment reporters are afraid that the world will not be in chaos, and they will only spread rumors and cause trouble. They said it was about big news about Teacher Si. The on-site coordinator was embarrassed. If they are not allowed in, they will be exposed directly on the internet. This is bad for Teacher C's reputation. Joke, okay, let them come over to shoot. The director patted the table, obviously angry. If you can't shoot anything today, don't let me go. The on-site coordinator shook his head, and immediately went out and called all the reporters around the entrance. There are more than a dozen entertainment reporters here. Why are there so many reporters? Is something wrong here? Can you get out? Who wants to see you? Paparazzi, I want to see my wife survive in the wilderness. Are you looking to survive in the wilderness? I'm too embarrassed to puncture you, you are greedy for her body. We received news that there was a Miss Si who was unbearably lonely during the filming of the show. The head of the entertainment reporter raised his chin, winning the ticket. If there is, then we can only publish the news truthfully. If not, we can also clarify. I hope you can understand. As soon as these words came out, the whole place fell silent. Chi Shunning was stunned for a moment, and looked at the closed wooden house almost instantly. When this kind of thing happens to the public, Can SI fucking still be her star in the entertainment industry? My update is always at 8 AM and 5 PM, and I will notify you if there are any changes. My update is still quite punctual. Everyone, don't waste time brushing. See you tomorrow. After having everything taken away, she returns as a god. Author, Ching Qian. Chapter 185. The entertainment industry is messy. Yes, couples on the crew are very common. But who would have thought that SI fucking would dare to fool around with so many live broadcasts for 14 hours a day? It is estimated that morning jogging in the morning is just an excuse. Chi Shunning recalled, fortunately, she didn't have much contact with SI fucking yesterday. The live broadcast room was bombed because of Yuji's sentence. Can you paparazzi have some peace of mind? My sister is slandering her here before she becomes popular. How many people are jealous? Why are SI fucking's fans so anxious? Maybe she just did it, or just say her. Several, do you know that spreading rumors is against the law, right? The director's expression turned cold in an instant. What are you filming? Call the police immediately. Director, this is a matter of the reputation of the entire program group. Yuji, headed by the head, was not in a hurry. If it's really okay, let us go in and take a shot, otherwise it will spread out. With a squeak sound, the wooden door was opened at this moment. SI fucking came out with drops of water still hanging on his eyelashes. Her fox eyes swept away, her face slightly cool. Is something wrong? Be quiet on the spot. Yuji, who was called by Zhou Xianyu, was shocked and forgot to speak. Didn't it mean that SI fucking fainted and was left to be slaughtered by the young master of the Zhou family? Why is she still standing here? Ching Ning Luiao stepped forward quickly. They spread rumors to slander you, saying you were fooling around. Oh, SI fucking held the door with one hand. Director, we don't do anything wrong and don't be afraid of ghosts knocking on the door, so let them take pictures, but since we want to take pictures, we have to pay a price. The director made an ah sound, but some did not respond. Several, sign an agreement first. SI fucking asked the assistant director for a few pieces of paper. If it turns out that you are slandering me, you need to write an apology to me on the whole network, and compensate the program team for this period of time. Loss. She was calm, not in a hurry. The entertainment reporters were silent for a while. But when they thought that the Zhou family had sworn to guarantee that SI fucking was definitely not clean, they gritted their teeth and agreed again. Okay, SI fucking took away the signed agreement, then you can shoot. After speaking, she turned her head. Director, I got you 1 million. Director. The audience in the live broadcast room was even more shocked by her actions. This is okay too? If my wife goes to open a company, she will definitely be a good negotiator. Don't put people out of the circle, we won't have to watch. The entertainment reporters immediately broke into the cabin, but nothing was photographed. They began to search around the camp reluctantly, but still did not photograph anything unusual. SI fucking had already sat down and started to bake eggs, very leisurely. Just when the entertainment reporters were about to return without success, a scream suddenly sounded in the bushes on the right. They rushed over again immediately, without looking, and started shooting frantically. What's over there? The director was taken aback. Quick, let's go over there and see. The whole group went over. The full face of the bush was also shown in front of the live camera. Zhou Zonghe was surrounded by several ferocious wild dogs, and his arms were full of wounds. But his sanity was obviously unclear, and he didn't realize that he was being watched. The assistant director took a deep breath and turned around very painfully. It's really immoral. SI fucking raised his hand to block Ning Luiao's eyes. Don't look at the long needle eye. Is it so exciting? Play this here. Man-dog war, awesome. It's so close to my wife's cabin, I don't want to do something to my wife. and then I'm accidentally attacked by dogs. The entertainment reporters were stunned when they finished filming. They are going to film Sci-fi scandal, not Zhou Zhonghe's. However, in order to ruin Sci-fi's reputation, they also started a live broadcast. A set of photos instantly circulated on the internet. The network is developed. Even if Zhou Zhonghe didn't show up much in public at all, he only appeared on the Linkheng Morning Post a few times, but he was quickly picked up by netizens. Hashtag Zhou Zhonghe, man and dog battle hashtag. Hashtag Linkheng Zhuojia hashtag. Even Zhou Zhonghe forced several girls to have abortions in the past, and they all broke out. The public hates this kind of thing that relies on their own power to oppress others, and there is a lot of scolding underneath, all applauding. When the Zhou group received the news, it couldn't hold back. What's going on? Zhou Tianfeng was extremely angry. He slammed the table. When did this stinky boy run to the edge of Nanzhou? It's okay to run away, and to cause such a big thing. The entire network is a scandal of the Zhou family, and the stocks have plummeted. Zhou Xianyu pursed his lips. Dad, I... Before she could finish her words, she suddenly woke up as if her brain was overwhelmed, and her expression changed. She is always cautious in her usual actions, even if it is just one step, she will keep staring at it. Why was this time relieved after only talking to Zhou Zhonghe yesterday? Now it seems that Sci-fi may not have an accident at all. Who was the person who spoke to her yesterday? Panic rose uncontrollably in Zhou Xianyu's heart. What the hell happened to her? Tianfeng, what can I do now? Madame Zhou cried so hard. Can Zhonghe still be saved? Can he still inherit the lineage? Cry, 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 you know how to cry. Zhou Tianfeng was annoyed to death. Bring people back first. No, you can't go back to Linkheng, go to Sijukan to find the Lin family. The Lin family is a scholar of the family, and has been practicing medicine for generations. The younger generation is even more amazing. Zhou Tianfeng could only pin his hopes on the Lin family. Unfortunately, nothing good has happened these days. Zhou Tianfeng slammed down the wall heavily. Xianyu, when will the master of 49 city you invited arrive? Zhou Xianyu returned to his senses and felt uneasy. There are still a few days. It's really evil. Zhou Tianfeng really didn't want to believe in ghosts. The two Onmyoji from Dongsang also said that there was nothing wrong with the Zhou family, but there were too many coincidences, and he had to guard against it. The top priority is to wake Zhou Zhonghe and see what happened. The atmosphere of the program group is also very dignified. When something like this happened, it was still around the camp, and the scene was too nauseating, and no one was in a good mood. Have you seen it? The director looked serious. There are a lot of wild beasts on the mountain here, and only the villagers here can tame them. Everyone must follow the route we set, and don't run around. Others, no problem, director, don't run around. Fucking beasts, I'm here, don't panic, line up and enter my stomach one by one. Killing me. Expect a fucking to fight with the wild beast with his bare hands. After the director finished speaking, he waved at Qi Shuning. Xing, your tutor is looking for you, you come out. Qi Shuning was stunned for a while, and immediately got up and walked over. Shuning's mentor is the host of Talking About the History of Daxia. I love watching him talk about history. The instructor took great pains to come to such a far place to see Shuning, and the relationship between teachers and students must be very good. Qi Shining came to the tent where the director team was located. Shuning, I've been recording the show for a day, how is it? The instructor asked with concern. Is there anything I'm not comfortable with? It's okay. Qi Shuning pursed her lips, it's just that my heart is unbalanced. What's the matter? The instructor was stunned for a moment, then frowned. The show team treated you unfairly. This is their own person in Daxiatai, and they will also carry the main beam in the future. Daxiatai has already started to prepare a single hosted show for Qi Shining, which is related to the history of Daxia. Before he sent Chi Shunning to come, he also told the program team in many ways that they must take more care of Chi Shunning. After all, Chi Shunning was young, only 22 years old. Chi Shunning was distraught. There is a traffic idol who can do anything. The assistant director personally invited it here. It is estimated that the sponsor behind the show has benefited the show team. She really didn't believe that Sci-Fucking went out for a morning run in the morning and helped the villagers gather crops and brought back a basket of eggs. Yesterday they saw how xenophobic the villagers here are. Moreover, the folk customs here are simple, the development is backward, and it is isolated from the world. It is a real peach blossom garden. Unless it is the existence of a national such as Yunlin. Or the older generation of sketch actors who go to the Spring Festival Gala every day. Otherwise, even if Su Yang came, these people would still not know each other. If it wasn't for the show's favoritism. This show also invited traffic idols. The instructor was surprised. I thought the director wouldn't go to support the current traffic stars with fans. Su Jianian is also a traffic star, but at least there are works. Sci-Fucking is still a youth and a mentor. Among her peers, Chi Shunning has always been the proud daughter of heaven. After graduating from the broadcasting department of Xia University, she went abroad to study for a year, and still holds the highest grade point in the whole department. I have never encountered a situation of being suppressed everywhere. Knowing that she was arrogant, the tutor comforted her. It will take 2 months to record, and the longer the time, the more shortcomings will be exposed. You have a good foundation and strong knowledge, which is not comparable to a traffic idol. Of course, you must also see the strengths of others. Chi Shunning nodded. Okay, then I'll go record the show. Go. The instructor glanced at the time. I just came here to collect materials, so I won't bother you. Chi Shunning left the tent and returned to the meeting point. Our first test is to cross the small grassland in front of us, and obstacles are set up on the road. The assistant director waved the small flag in his hand. Everyone has their own way, and when they reach the end, they will be divided into groups of 2 to carry out the next test. Whoever reaches the finish line first will receive more supplies at noon today. Sci-Fucking looked up at the grassland not far away, and put on his sun hat again. The difficulty is gradual, and the program group did not raise the difficulty to the highest level as soon as they came up. The director asked the staff to quietly increase the difficulty of Sci-Fucking's path. But after seeing the girl successfully pass one obstacle after another, she fell into silence again. These obstacles did not challenge Sci-Fucking. Just passing by a river, she played in the water for a while. Until the footsteps sounded, a slender and tall figure broke into the camera. Who is this? He looks so imposing. Is he the one arranged by the show team? Also wearing a mask. No one else knows. Sci-Fucking can naturally recognize who this is at a glance. That day when she saw Yu Zion staring at the mask Ji Xingzi gave her, she gave it to him very painfully. Why did her boss come alone? Also this dress. Girl, the man said with a cold tone and a soft tone, how do I get to Xiaozhuang village? Sci-Fucking was expressionless. I'm a lunatic. Did her boss do it on purpose? Obviously she went the wrong way the first time she saw him. Is it really good to say so bluntly? I never imagined the series, the aggressive wife on stage is a road idiot, which is a cute contrast. Then I'll ask someone else. Yu Zion seemed to smile and nodded slightly. The terrain here is complicated, and there are often beasts, so be careful, girl. The 2 words girl came out of his mouth again, with a different ancient charm, which was very pleasant. Sci-Fucking was stunned, and then her fox eyes narrowed dangerously. You too, you must be careful. The 2 passed by. The barrage suddenly became active. Have you seen the mask he is wearing? Have you ever seen a junior high school history book? It was worn by Emperor Yin on his expedition. I saw it. I can't see what it looks like, but this mask is so handsome. It's fake. I went to tourist attractions with a lot of gadgets, and I even bought a dragon sparrow sword at that time. The tourist attractions not only sell black and gold masks and swords, but also the tokens of the 3 major families and the 4 major alliances. However, the business of the entertainment industry that is related to Emperor Yin is very prosperous. I am a fan of Emperor Yin. Like me, I didn't expect to meet the same burden when I saw the show. Don't say, that man just looked at his figure just now, it really reminds me of your majesty. Speaking of which, I haven't seen any movies and TV dramas related to Emperor Yin, I can only spy on his demeanor from the text and storytelling. No one can play Emperor Yin. He started to dominate the world when he was 14 years old, but do you want to see which little fresh meat can play now? They are all a group of exiles. Sci-fi was still standing in the same place, and Yu Xian's 2 girls still echoed in her ears. Voices and figures gradually overlapped. The man who forced her way into her car the first day she woke up was her boss. He has problems with his legs, but he can actually walk. Very well, for the money, she can't get angry and hurt herself. But her fists were hard. My wife's smile suddenly becomes very scary. I have an ominous hunch that someone is going to suffer. Who did you invite? Backstage, the director wondered, is there anyone else in this barren mountain? No, the assistant director scratched his head, maybe it's the villagers here. The director frowned, it's very different. With that momentum, he wanted to pull the young man to perform a big summer treasure. Mr. Si has reached the end, the staff shouted, the others are still on the way, and Teacher Chi has only left a quarter of the way. The director's face darkened, she is too fast, I will make it more difficult for her later. The assistant director spreads his hands, I advise you to give up, it's useless. The director didn't listen and began to instruct the staff. After another hour, Yuan Heping arrived. Seeing that Si had arrived first, he was surprised, your physical fitness is really good. He was born in martial arts. Although he is old, he still has muscles. The last time I entered the crew to film, I played against Xiao Xianro. Xiao Xianro, who was in his early 20s, was knocked down by his punch, and he didn't even do much. Exercise every day, Si lazily said, Mr. Yuan, come here, this fruit can be eaten to replenish energy. Yuan Heping sat down. After a while, others arrived one after another. Qi Shuning arrived at the latest, 2 hours later. Okay, everyone rest, let's start the next level. The director sat on the OB van, holding the horn, you will meet the villagers here in a while, this villager likes calligraphy, you have to write big characters that he is satisfied with, to pass the checkpoint. The assistant director jumped out of the car, come on, the lottery is drawn. Whoever is in the same group with Teacher Shen will win. Shen Ziyuan is a member of the Heaven and Earth Alliance, and is proficient in calligraphy and painting. 6 people drew lots. Ning Luiao cried and said, Ching Ching, why are you number 3? We are going to separate. Mr. Yuan is also very good, Si said, don't worry. Qi Shuning looked at number 3 in his hand and was in a bad mood. If she was in a group with Si when she was surviving, she would naturally be very happy. But this time it's calligraphy. It's not that she doesn't know about Si slow education. Qi Shuning pursed his lips, can you write? It's okay, Si said, so. Finally, I'm going to a place where Teacher Si is not good at hearing this answer. The director breathed a sigh of relief, and whispered to the assistant director, for this part, let Shuning take her more. Si not good at it? It doesn't exist. Do you know how many skills I learned in the game for apprenticeship? You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. After having everything taken away, she returns as a god. Author, Qing Qian. Chapter 186. The director is very pleased. Although the villagers here don't communicate much with the outside world, let alone, there are quite a few things they know. He is also very wise, not blindly setting up survival levels, but setting up several guests that each is good at. There was even a stage of acting in order to facilitate Su Jianian and Neng Luiao to get points. He couldn't believe it anymore, he couldn't be bothered by SI fucking. The assistant director nodded and made a gesture to Chi Xining, meaning to ask her to lead SI fucking. With the camera present, Chi Xining certainly couldn't show any dissatisfaction, but nodded meekly. But she knew that SI fucking was exaggerating when he said it was so-so. A fish that slipped through the net after 9 years of education, can you count on calligraphy? Even if she puts out 12 points of strength, their group must have the lowest score. Su Jianian and Shen Ziyuan were in a group. He smiled, it seems that I can lie down and win. My brother, quickly hugged teacher Shen's legs. That is, learn more, maybe you can become a nominal member of the TND Alliance in the future. Mr. Yuan also writes calligraphy, which can lead Yao Yao, but the group of Chi Shunning and SI fucking, Chi Shunning can't take it. I'll write it, Chi Shunning said, we can just hand over one person. Anyway, it doesn't make any difference whether SI fucking writes or not. SI fucking's expression became happy, okay. She could finally lie down for a while. A very perfect survival life. The front is the uncle that the program team said. The uncle wore a straw hat, sunglasses on the bridge of his nose, and a pipe in his hand. A look of an outsider. There are several tables in front of him, on which are pen, ink, paper, and inkstone. Except for SI fucking, all 5 people went over and took a piece of rice paper and started writing. After writing, it is up to the uncle to start the selection. What is written here? The uncle read it quickly, with a look of disgust. Among the 5, only this one is qualified, but the person who wrote it casually. Brother, you are really smart. Yuan Heping was surprised, you can find out the most powerful people among us at a glance. The uncle snorted with a pipe in his mouth, your uncle is still your uncle. Yuan Heping. Laughing to death, teacher Yuan was expelled from the old man status because he looked like he was only in his early 40s. Actually, teacher Shen is really just writing casually after all. The director asked her to restrain herself. This is usually what teacher Shen throws in the trash can. Shunning is already very good. She is in the broadcasting department. Calligraphy is just a hobby. Unlike some people, they don't write at all. She really let Shunning lead by herself. Hey, that little girl over there. The uncle rolled his eyes. Why are you squatting there to watch the grasshopper? Come here quickly. SI fucking raised his head. Master, I'm not playing with grasshoppers. The uncle was stunned. Then what are you doing? SI fucking opened his eyes and said nonsense in a serious manner. I am a salted fish lying down. You look at the sun so well, I am thankful for not lying down for a while. The uncle was very happy. You can't lie down, come here, everyone else has written it, you have to write it too. SI fucking sighed and could only walk over. Chi Shunning frowned and picked up another brush. You haven't touched calligraphy. This is how the pen is held. I'll teach you, and you follow me. If SI fucking's words are too ugly and her score is low, her face will not be saved. Well, okay, thank you. SI fucking picked up the pen and pinched it. I only know one word. You have to write a single word. The uncle didn't back down. Hurry up, or I won't let you pass. Uncle is good, everyone has to write it, it can't be special. SI fucking will definitely not be able to do this now. The Zhou family has sent her to the countryside to farm, and there is still time to practice calligraphy. No wonder she didn't come here just now. SI fucking quickly put down his pen. I'm done. So fast, the uncle put on his reading glasses and picked up the rice paper on the table. At this glance, he suddenly fell silent. Everyone was quiet. Old brother, don't be stunned. Yuan Heping had always been familiar with him, and even made a joke, Quickly comment on the comment, how did you write the word our daughter? It can't be because Fuqing wrote it too well, did it shock you? The uncle stared at the only word on the rice paper and slowly shook his head, I really can't evaluate it. Yuan Heping was stunned. There are feelings in this word, and... The uncle paused, and sighed a little disappointedly, all in all, it's very well written, it's rare. He unfolded the rice paper and laid it flat in front of the camera. Now everyone can see it. Black and white. That is a yin word. Inside the door to see the door, the layman to watch the fun. Ning Luiyao and Su Jianian only thought the word was very beautiful, and they were caught for a moment when they looked at it. Shen Ziyuan was extremely surprised, it's so well written. It has the air of a king. Qi Shuning's expression changed indiscernibly, the fingers holding the brush clenched instantly, and the whole person was somewhat unresponsive. Sci-fi can actually write? Didn't she graduate from junior high school? Why did you suddenly learn to calligraphy? Although Qi Shuning is not a calligraphy major, he has practiced since childhood. She had to admit that the word sci-fi was stronger than the poem she wrote. At this moment, she was very flustered, and she couldn't tell whether it was regret or jealousy. The audience in the live broadcast room was also shocked. Sci-fi's calligraphy is fine, this word is written in one go, and it is magnificent. To be praised by teacher Shen is really amazing. You call this so-so, modest wife, if I were as good looking as what you wrote, I would shout on the street with a loudspeaker. One thing to say, I really think the program team gave her a thorough question. You said that she has strong survival skills, yes, it can be said that she has practiced in the countryside. What is the matter with calligraphy? She didn't even graduate from junior high school, yet she still wrote a word? I die from laughing. I can't say enough about the problem. If I'm not as good as others, can this word be mastered overnight? No matter how you have 10 years of foundation, this show was only filed at the beginning of the year. I deeply doubt that Sci-fi is also a fan of Emperor Yin, otherwise why would she write about Yin? Wow, the two chefs are ecstatic, my wife's idol is also my idol. These netizens are so eye-catching. When Feng San saw this in the hotel, he couldn't help but say, with just one word, I guess that Miss Si is a fan of His Majesty Emperor Yin. If the uncle said that he has feelings, he must have feelings. He sees that what Miss Si usually carries the most is the copy of The Legend of Emperor Yin. Hearing this, Yu Xian turned her head and gave her a very light look. Feng San was seen a little creepy. Ninth brother, Where did he say something wrong? Yu Xian put down the cup and stood up. Feng San was stunned, and immediately followed. Go out, Yu Xian said lightly, you don't need to follow. Feng San measured his strength and finally shut up. He should just stay here and watch the variety show live. The recording of the show is still in progress. After the second level passed, the uncle only took away the words written by Sci-fi, and the 6 of them separated again. The director just stared at Sci-fi's sub-lens. Seeing that she easily found the answer, opened the password door of the cellar, and found a batch of supplies. Then she saw that she made a raft and crossed the river smoothly. Sci-fi this road is the most difficult. But even so, when she passed, others were still racking their brains to solve the mystery. Has she practiced before? The director took a deep breath, and finally couldn't help asking, with this investigative ability, what kind of star should you be in the entertainment industry? Join the criminal police brigade. The assistant director was also quite confused. He said tremblingly, Miss Si isn't from any intelligence organization, right? Oh, the intelligence organizations have come out. The director gave him a sidelong look, 0 or T18. Then why haven't you been arrested? The assistant director murmured, then you see what else she can't do. Director. He gritted his teeth, I don't believe it anymore. I'll ask the Daxia Security Bureau, who came to our stage to work as a bodyguard last time, to see how sleepy they used to be. If SI fucking goes on like this, will the other guests still have fun? By the way, I even got you a flying guest. The assistant director suddenly became proud. I'll be here next week, just in time for him to appear in the first issue. Who is it? The director asked suspiciously. Why are you becoming more and more mysterious recently? The assistant director put his hands behind his back. Hey, I won't tell you. Anyway, when the time comes to scare you to death, I was invited by Mr. Tosi. The director slapped his head with a slap in the face. The result is not unexpected. SI fucking won the first place today, and also obtained the most resources. In addition to the chicken, there are several large goose eggs, as well as a lot of vegetables. Chi Shunning was the last, and only got one cucumber. She took a bite of the cucumber, and couldn't let go of her body to ask SI fucking how many eggs she wanted. The next day it was a new day of survival, and Chi Shunning could no longer hold on. SI fucking spirit is getting better and better, and he can eat several chickens every day. In the first episode of the show, 4 days of material were intercepted, and it will be launched on Daxia and video platforms next Thursday. There are very few variety shows that can be starred. But this is produced by Daxiatai after all, and the director is a senior person. He has already applied for the qualifications, and it is still the prime time period from 8 to 10:30. Coupled with the quality guarantee of the production team, many people across the country are looking forward to this show. The director initially decided to edit around Yuen Heping and Su Jianian, and now he is going to give SI fucking more shots. He cannot be left alone with a myocardial infarction. He wants the audience in front of the TV to be frightened to death. After 4 days of recording, SI fucking also got a day off. She finally seized the opportunity to go to the hotel where Yu Zion stayed, but only Feng San was there. SI fucking's fist hardened. Where's the boss? Ninth brother went to some village, didn't let me follow, and didn't come back in the past 2 days, but it's definitely fine. Feng San said. Miss SI, don't worry, ninth brother will let you record the show. SI fucking raised his eyebrows. You haven't come back for 2 days. She just finished the first round of recording, and her boss is not there. Wouldn't he be avoiding her on purpose? Ninth brother will come here every once in a while. Feng San thought for a while. There must be something important. SI fucking can confirm now. Yu Zion also inadvertently met people from the Magical Medical Alliance, so she came here to see her legs. He used to be really unable to walk on his legs. But with the Magical Medical Alliance, his leg disease naturally recovered a lot. And she completely eradicated the problems in his legs. Okay, SI fucking smiled. When the boss comes back, you must notify me in time. I can't wait to see him. You still have to tell him that I won't see him today, like every 3 autumns. I miss him very much. She took the word timely very hard. Feng San was horrified again. What do you think of Missy's posture? She wants to eat brother Ju. I'm looking for a friend. SI fucking waved his hand. Remember. After Feng San sent her out, he immediately grabbed the phone. Hey, brother Ju, did you cause something? It's Miss SI. Here. SI fucking went to Zhang Changning. Zhang Changning knew she was coming, so he prepared snacks and waited. How does it feel to be alive? How can such a beautiful life be survival? It's a vacation. SI fucking shrugged. Even though I can't cook, I'm a little tired of eating barbecue every day. Then I will prepare some juice for you to relieve tiredness, Zhang Changning said. SI fucking snorted and suddenly raised his head. Do you usually have so many people in your house? Zhang Changning frowned. What? There are a lot of people. SI fucking moved his ears. The people who come here are not good. Zhang Changning seemed to have thought of something, and his expression changed. It may be. She immediately took off her gloves and ran out. SI fucking's expression softened and he followed. Sure enough, there were quite a few people gathered at the door of the house, all of them men, tall and big. These people wanted to squeeze in, but were blocked by Jiang's mother and failed for a while. "What are you doing?" Jiang Changning's expression changed. "Mom. Go away." A tall man gave a sharp look and directly pushed Mama Jiang. Seeing that she was about to fall to the ground, there was a hand behind her back, helping her up. Jiang's mother also saw Jiang Changning coming over, and she was frightened. "Ningning, what are you doing here? Your father and brother are not here now, go back." But being blocked again, the tall man's eyes were even sharper. "Who? Interfering with God, interfering in the affairs of our village. Get out of here quickly." Sci slowly stood up and rolled up his sleeves. "I ask you to get to know me. Your Majesty is about to suffer?" When I wrote the outline, I really liked the emotional drama of this book. You absolutely can't think of how it will unfold. Always remember that I am a romance writer QWQ. Because of the variety show, the usual tone of this book is lighter than the previous one. See you tomorrow. After having everything taken away, she returns as a god. Author, Qing Qian. Chapter 187. As soon as these words came out, the dozen people who wanted to break in were all silent. Sci's reaction was completely unexpected. Not to mention that this is an internal matter of the Divine Medical Alliance, and outsiders can't control it at all. Taking a step back, there are so many big men of them who are armed with force. Is it possible that a little girl still wants to fight with them? Jiang's mother was even more stunned. This is my friend." Jiang Changning came back to his senses. "Sisi, come here, don't fight them hard. If they come hard today, the elders won't let them go." Elder, hearing this, the tall man at the head smiled. "You wouldn't be naive enough to think that the elders would take care of this kind of thing, right? We are just communicating privately and competing normally." As he said that, his slightly greedy eyes slid over Jiang Changning. Jiang Changfeng is arrogant, with a cold face every day, as if others owe him 18 million, but he didn't expect his sister to come out. Very marked. Sci Fuqian restrained his smile, his expression completely indifferent. Mother Jiang stood in front of Jiang Changning. "You can't wait to start before the assessment, aren't you afraid that the elders will blame you?" I said it's just a normal competition. The tall man didn't care, but if you give your daughter to Mr. Fang, even if you fail the assessment and leave the Magic Doctor League, Mr. Fang will give you a place to stay. Place. Jiang's mother was so angry that she protected Jiang Changning even tighter. "You are dreaming. Don't waste so many words with them." Sci took a few steps forward. "If we compete normally, it's okay for people to destroy them, right?" Taking advantage of Jiang Changfeng and Jiang's father's absence, he bullied a mother and daughter. Scum. Jiang Changning was stunned. "Theoretically, it's fine, but..." "Well, that's fine," Sci said lightly. "Break it out." "Break down," the tall man frowned. I said, "Who are you? Don't think you're good looking and I'll..." His words were not finished. The fingers of Sci's right hand suddenly flexed into claws, directly clasping the tall man's arm, and then he just slammed him to the ground with a slight force. Bang! Heavy sound. It wasn't over. Her legs lifted. Crack! There was an extremely clear crack, the sound of a rib breaking. The pain came too suddenly. The tall man let out a heart-piercing scream, and his body began to twitch. Sci stepped on his head with one foot and smiled. "I'm pretty, I really don't need you to tell me." The surroundings were quiet again. Mama Jiang is stupid. The expressions of the other dozen or so people who came to find fault changed. The members of the Divine Doctor Alliance have some kung fu in their bodies. There are even many masters in the alliance who can compete with the Qinjun Alliance. This also goes back to 1,500 years ago. In the early days of Emperor Yin's establishment of the Magical Medicine Alliance, he left some martial arts secrets specially for the magicians to keep fit. Although they are definitely not qualified to learn these secrets that only core members can practice, They are also practicing fighting skills since childhood. How could they be beaten like this by a little girl? Sci raised his head. Eyes fell on the rest of the people. More than a dozen people were taken a step back by her, and they all wanted to escape. But they didn't have that chance. Zhang Changning watched Sci move on, with the sound of bang bang landing in his ears. Before a minute had passed, more than a dozen big men all fell to the ground. It's easy to die if you talk too much. Sci wiped his hands. You must remember this principle when you hang out outside. The consciousness of more than a dozen people is still there, but the body has lost the ability to move. If it was just an ordinary over-the-shoulder fall, it would be impossible for them to even have the strength to stand up. What exactly is going on? You're finished. A man's eyes widened and he said with difficulty, "If you dare to touch us, Mr. Fang will not let you go." Do you know Mr. Fang's status in God, in our village? It's not at all comparable to the 4 members of the Zhang family. Do you still have the strength to speak? Sci nodded slightly and bent down. It seems that you still have to shut up completely. She flexed her fingers and slammed into his ribs. There were a few more clicks, and the severe pain instantly swept through the body. This time, the man passed out completely, and he didn't even make a scream. Everything quieted down. Mama Jiang's mouth widened. "Ning Ning, are you looking for a friend from the special forces?" "Zhang Changning." She slowly said, "No, she's a star." It was the first time she saw Sci work, even though she heard from several trainees in youth that Sci knew how to do some kung fu. Zhang Changning silently looked at the dozen or so big men who had been abolished. This is the meeting point in Sci mouth? What are these people doing? Sci turned his head. You still run over in the daytime, your village is so turbulent. The Qinjun League represents force. The Divine Doctor Alliance is so uncontested in the world, but I didn't expect it to solve the problem in such a rude way. They came for the Qinzadazang flower that my dad planted. Zhang Changning frowned. The assessment will be in a few days. This Qinzadazang flower is the medicinal material that my dad participated in the assessment. It looks like they can't wait. Not everyone in the Divine Medical Alliance is trained in medicine. Some people practice medicine, some people make medicine, and some people specialize in planting medicinal materials. The division of labor is clear. But the internal struggle is also very fierce. There are not a few open and secret robberies. As long as the entire Divine Doctor Alliance is not disturbed, the elders and the leaders will not care. After all, competition can promote development. 1,000-year-old Tibetan flowers, Sci's eyes deepened. Can you actually grow them? Qinzai Jizohua is actually a special medicinal material in Eternal, and she used a lot of medicines in the past. Samsung game accounts can bring game items out, but not everything. The 1,000 years Jizo flower is one of them. Even if it is a more advanced player, even if he is fortunate enough to find 1,000 years of Tibetan flowers, the first moment they are brought out, the 1,000-year-old Tibetan flowers will wither and fall into mud. Well, Zhang Changning hesitated. My brother gave the seeds, and I don't know how my dad planted them. What about them? Sci nodded. Why did you stay here? I went to the next village to sell medicinal herbs. Zhang Changning sighed. This is the first time I have encountered such a thing. Take a rest first, Sci said. Auntie is frightened. It's okay, I'm okay. Jiang's mother's eyes brightened. Girl, what is your name? Where are the family members from? I have a. Zhang Changning interrupted her ruthlessly. Mom. Several people are chatting. Zhang Changfeng and Zhang Luiying are back. As soon as they came in, they saw the man lying on the ground. Zhang Changfeng's expression changed. Dad, they are going to go directly to the door to grab it. Zhang Luiying also lowered her face. He squatted down and looked at the situation of the dozen or so people. He couldn't help but gasped, what a domineering and superb technique. He obviously didn't use much effort, but he was able to beat people like this. Only then did Zhang Changfen notice Si fucking. He was slightly startled. Miss Si, it's you. Lu Ying, I'm here to introduce you. Jiang's mother was very happy. This is Miss Si Fuqingxi, Ning Ning's friend. Fortunately, she is here, otherwise something big will happen today. Miss Si, thank you so much. Zhang Luiying immediately stood up straight, in awe. If it wasn't for your help today, Ning Ning and the others would have. Small things, it is estimated that you will not be calm before your assessment. Si fucking smiled, I have a bodyguard for you, he is just doing nothing. After all, Shang Lu has been trained by the Qinjun League, and it is not as simple as knowing how to fight. Zhang Luiying was taken aback for a moment. This is not good. It's okay, I ate a lot of Ning Ning's food. Si fucking picked up the phone, I'll call him over. At this time, on the other side of the forest. Elder Village. There is a wooden house on the top of the mountain, surrounded by gardens and hills with flowing water. There is a go board on the stone table in front of the house. Yu Ziyan sat opposite a gray-haired old man. Seeing that Yu Ziyan had finished answering the phone, the elder Tais Hang sighed lightly, and couldn't help but be surprised. Mr. Yu, what's the problem? For 10 years, he had never seen this man show any extraneous expressions. Before meeting Yu Ziyan, elder Tais Hang never thought that someone would control all his emotions so perfectly. It was discovered by her. Yu Ziyan stretched out her hand and dropped a drop. She was in a fit of rage, so I came out to avoid it. Elder Tais Hang. Who could let Yu Ziyan say such a thing? Yu Ziyan didn't say it, and the elder Tais Hang didn't ask. The two finished the game. The elder Tais Hang stroked his beard. Mr. Yu is very good at chess, I'm ashamed of this old man. I'm here to fetch the medicinal materials. Yu Ziyan pushed a sheet full of medicinal materials, all above. Elder Tais Hang took a look and frowned. This is not Mr. S medicine for legs. Yeah, Yu Ziyan said lightly, it's another medicine, only you have it here. Sir, the medicine for the legs can't be broken. The elder Tais Hang was anxious, if it breaks, it will soon fall short. Hearing these words, Yu Ziyan's eyes swept over. He looked at the elder Tais Hang quietly, with a scrutiny. Elder Tais Hang couldn't bear it for a while, and cold sweat broke out. It's okay. After a few seconds, the man smiled slightly, my legs are already healed. What? The elder Tais Hang stood up abruptly, his face flushed with excitement. Your leg is healed. Has the monthly pain gone? Yu Ziyan's expression was flat. Yes. But which genius doctor has treated Mr. Yu? Elder Tais Hang asked. Can you actually eradicate all your leg problems? Yu Ziyan, yes. I have an idea. Mr. Yu must have heard the name Ghost Hand and Heavenly Doctor. The elder Tais Hang said very cautiously, if someone's medical skills are to be above the League of Magical Doctors, exclude those in the game Eternal. Those NPCs are only ghost doctors. After all, NPCs, non-player characters, are just a string of data. No matter how powerful the data is, it will never come to reality. But the ghost doctor is different. As long as there is a game cabin, Ta can go back and forth between the game and reality. Yu Ziyan held his head, his eyes didn't seem as sharp as before. He said slowly, I guessed it. As early as when Si fucking treated his leg for the first time, he already knew it. Holographic games are not the same as real time. She knows so many things, and it's normal. Elder Tais Hang breathed a sigh of relief. I certainly won't say anything about this matter, please rest assured Mr. Yu. Mr. Yu has recreated my divine medical alliance, and I can't repay it, but I respect Mr. Yu. Yu Ziyan raised her head and glanced at a portrait hanging directly on the door of the wooden house. The word Yinhuang is written on it. Aside from being ugly, it's still ugly. He put down the teacup and picked up another chess piece. Go on. The elder Tais Hang had a bitter face. Today he is going to lose all his hair. The next day, the show began its second round of recording. There is no doubt that Sci-Fucking was the first to pass again, and dropped the second place by 3 hours. The director couldn't stop laughing at all. After 2 months of recording, he will definitely find a way to trap Sci-Fucking. At the end of the day's survival at night, the 6 guests returned to the camp. "Teachers, we will have flying guests arriving tomorrow." The assistant director came over and clapped his hands. "We are about to start our first key project, escaping the primitive tribe. Please be prepared." "Flying guests? Who is it?" "Don't invite traffic stars anymore, not everyone is as stubborn as Sci-Fucking. We are looking forward to tomorrow. Hope for a surprise." "Mr. SI," the assistant director beckoned to Sci-Fucking, "I have your emergency number, come and have a look." "Huh?" Sci-Fucking walked over and took the phone. "Hello. Miss SI, I was on guard all the time yesterday, but I don't know what happened. When I went to see it just now, the 1,000-year-old Tibetan flower withered." Shang Lu said anxiously. "What should I do now?" "The flower withered, Mr. Zhang will not be able to participate in the assessment." "Don't worry." Sci-Fucking was very calm. "I'll go take a look, you wait, just protect their safety." "Okay." Shang Lu was full of confidence now. "Miss SI, rest assured, these individuals are not my opponents." "He can't beat Miss SI, and can't deal with these people?" "Director, I'm going out." Sci-Fucking hung up the call. "Grab something to eat." The director took a deep breath. "You go." The director has a lifeless expression on his face. The chickens put on by the program group on this mountain are almost finished. Sci-Fucking walked out of the camp in a fair manner, and came to the village according to the route map Zhang Changfeng had drawn for her. As soon as they entered, they saw the Zhang family surrounded by a glass cover. Inside the glass cover were petals scattered all over the floor. "It has withered, but a little red can still be seen. The medicine was still destroyed by them, and I don't know what method they used." Zhang Changning pursed his lips. "It's really the mantis catching the cicada and the oriole behind. Their family has always been isolated from the world and lived in a remote place. Who would have thought that someone would still be staring at him?" "It's too late." Zhang Luiying said solemnly. "The assessment will arrive 3 days later. It's too late to replant another plant, and the years of other medicinal materials are not enough. If the assessment fails this time, their land will be taken back. No matter where you are, without the support of strength, you will become a waste." In the 4 major alliances, even the Heaven and Earth Alliance, which only involves piano, chess, calligraphy, painting, poetry, and songs, is the same. "Yo, Zhang Luiying, where's your 1,000 years Jizo flower?" There were voices from far to near, with a bit of sarcasm. "Aren't you very capable? If you have the ability, you can plant another plant, or if you have the ability, you can directly plant it. Eternal brings out a better one." "Oh, no, I forgot, you are just a Samsung account, you can't bring out the medicinal materials at all." Zhang Luiying raised her head and looked at the few people who came over with cold eyes. "Fang Minkin's lackey." "It's better than a lackey if you can't even take the exam." The man smiled indifferently. "And you?" He pointed his finger at Sci-Fucking and sneered. "We hurt so many of our brothers, and the 4 members of the Zhang family will be expelled after failing the assessment. Don't think about it?" "Yes, you can protect them. Can you give them medicinal materials to participate in the assessment?" "I advise you to keep your own business. You can't. I really don't know where the yellow-haired girl came from, and she is really brave to fight against Fang Mingquan." Sci-Fucking turned his head and said calmly, "I can." Without waiting for the others to react, she raised her hand and knocked on the table. "Come here, Tool Man, now, you immediately enter your game cabin and play the game." Zhang Changfeng looked at him suddenly, his pupils suddenly shrank. "You?" Zhang Luiying and Zhang Changning were also taken aback. The holographic game Eternal is not a secret in the Medical Alliance, but outside, it is a secret. Zhang Changning doesn't play Eternal, but she also knows how difficult it is to get the qualification for the game. Si fucking sat down and said in a relaxed tone, "I'll give you the route, you can enter the Ghost Valley, and you don't need to worry about the rest. I'll let you take as much as the medicinal herbs are." Is this wave falling off each other? His Majesty is beginning to be tempted, but after all, he is a person who has been an emperor. That heart. Well, I only have money in my heart. 2333. In fact, if there is a beautiful girl around you who changes tricks every day and praises you, you can't resist. After having everything taken away, she returns as a god. Author, Qing Qian. Chapter 188. She spoke calmly, her tone was neither high nor low, as if she was talking about what to eat today. Zhang Luiying couldn't help but lose his voice. Ghost Valley. Ghost Valley. It's a location in Eternal. Its degree of danger is well known on the list, and few players dare to enter. More importantly, the NPC Lord of Ghost Valley has a weird temper. Anyone who goes in and disturbs his rest will die without a place to be buried. In addition, there is an irreversible poison everywhere in the Ghost Valley. Going in is a corpse, so it is called Ghost Valley. It is true that even if the player dies in the game, it will not affect the reality. But the number of deaths is more, the account will be invalid. Holographic games are all linked to the mind and brain waves, and one person has one account. If it is cancelled, you will lose the right to log in to the game. No one dares to gamble. Zhang Luiying, I was blamed for not warning you. The man smiled, his eyes gloomy. You will not say anything if you ask for foreign aid, but if you spread the matter in Eternal, you are waiting to be heard. Dispose of the elders. Zhang Luiying didn't hear these words at all, he looked straight at Si fucking, his eyes widened. Miss Si, you. It's okay, Uncle Zhang, I'll help you. Si fucking raised his eyes and looked at the man lightly. Let me send you off. You wait, the man gritted his teeth. When the assessment is over, I see how you can still laugh. He left quickly with a few younger brothers. Just kidding, Si fucking knocked down more than a dozen big men by himself yesterday. They are not opponents at all. As for Ghost Valley, if Gigo could enter, it would not be listed as one of the 7 forbidden places in Eternal. Even those high-level players can't get in. A yellow-haired girl, talking big. What are you doing in a daze? Si fucking closed his eyes and looked at Zhang Changfeng, who was also in a daze. In your game cabin, can I carry you in? Zhang Changfeng pressed his eyebrows. It's inside, I'll go right over. Zhang Changning hesitated and said, Ching Ching, you know Eternal. I played Si fucking hummed, but I haven't played for a long time. My brother said that the game is very dangerous. If you don't protect your personal information, it's easy to make enemies. Zhang Changning worried. You don't have any enemies, do you? Probably. Si fucking looked up at the sky. I can't count. I don't know how many people in Eternal want to kill her. There are players, and there are game native NPCs. Zhang Changning. Can't count? How much feud is this? Don't worry, my personal protection is very good. Si fucking patted her on the shoulder. Don't worry about me, they can't find me. I'll go ahead and ask your brother to bring out the medicinal materials. Zhang Changning was still very worried. With so many enemies, what should we do in the future? Si Fu dumped into the room where the game cabin was placed. Zhang Changfeng was already lying in it, and he was using the normal version of the game cabin. The game to real-time ratio is 4:1. You follow the coordinates I said. Si fucking said, remember, it can't be worse than 1 millimeter, or you will die. Zhang Changfeng glanced at the paper full of numbers, and remembered it as quickly as possible without hesitation. Okay. The ghost doctor wants to kill him, and there is no need to use such a troublesome method. Si fucking leaned on the side and played with his mobile phone. 10 minutes later, the game cabin made a beep sound. and Zhang Changfeng logged out of the game. He immediately rolled out of the game cabin, went to the last trunk, and opened it. It was no longer empty, but there were a few more medicinal herbs. Just smelling the aroma, he knew that these medicinal herbs were of excellent age. Rao is as steady as Zhang Changfeng, and he can't help but take a deep breath. He actually took out the medicinal materials in the Ghost Valley, and he was not attacked by the master of the Ghost Valley. Zhang Changfeng looked at the girl with her eyes closed and rested with a complicated expression. How come you are so familiar with Gigo and can remember the coordinates? The reason why Gigo is listed as the 7 forbidden lands in Eternal is because 6-star players will die if they enter. But he just walked according to the coordinates given to him by Sci-fi, not to mention being injured. Not even the poison in Ghost Valley was contaminated. If it wasn't for the medicinal materials, he wondered for a moment whether he had gone to the wrong place. Sci-fi held his head, and the fox eyes rolled up. Why, everyone recognizes me as a ghost doctor. Don't you know that the master of the Ghost Valley is my teacher? Zhang Changfeng's pupils shrank suddenly. It turns out that your medical skills were inherited from him, and you can actually worship him as your teacher. It is normal to communicate with game native NPCs. The higher the NPC's favorability, the more things they will get. But the good feeling is very difficult to get. He once obtained a 10% favorability rating for an NPC, and then he got a pharmaceutical cheat sheet, which allowed him to pass last year's assessment and won the top spot. Zhang Changfeng never thought that Sci-fi would be able to take the most stinky Ghost Valley master as his teacher and learn all his medical skills. How good is this feeling? His temper is very bad. Sci-fi was expressionless. I brought him tea and water for 3 years, and that's not enough. I have to play the Gookin to accompany him. It's a fault, and I chose a name like Ghost Hand and Heaven Doctor, so I can't be bothered all day long. Although time passes quickly in the game, and 3 years are not long in reality, the sensory passage of time is real. Whenever Sci-fi thinks of her years as a teacher, her fist becomes very hard. Get him some herbs this time, and teach him a lesson. Sci-fi regretted. You're really useless, you just took so much, why don't you draw more? Zhang Changfeng. Is this called a little? He got 3 of them. Each of these plants is a treasure of heaven and earth that is higher than the quality of the 1,000-year-old Tibetan flowers. Zhang Changfeng took a deep breath. I'll play the game at that time. Your teacher really won't go out to hunt me down, right? The combat power of the game NPCs in Eternal is all over the table. There was a conflict between several high-level players and NPCs. In the end, these players were killed and directly disqualified from the game. If he is chased by the Lord of Ghost Valley, he can really quit the game permanently. No, you just took 3, there are millions of medicinal herbs in Ghost Valley. Sci-fi shrugged, and he doesn't know where to play, so how can he take care of these? Don't worry, you are absolutely safe. MSSI, do you know why game items can be materialized? Zhang Changfeng asked again. I have always been puzzled. This violates science, but even if it is supernatural, it is a holographic game that relies on science. Technology. Sci-fi was silent for a while, then slowly shook his head. Sorry, I don't have a clue for now. That's it. Zhang Changfeng nodded silently. Then I don't want to. He went out with 3 medicinal herbs. Zhang Luiying, who has been planting medicinal herbs all the year round, smelled the fragrance of the medicinal herbs. His expression instantly lifted, and he strode forward. This is. Not to mention 3 plants, even 1 plant can firmly win the first place in the assessment. Miss C's kindness and great virtue, Zhang Luiying will never forget. Zhang Luiying's eyes turned red and she was about to kneel down, but was stopped by Sci-fi. Anyway, it's not mine that you are taking, I just showed him the way. She smiled. I really admire Uncle Jiang's ability to grow a 1,000-year-old Tibetan flower by himself. It's not that no one brought out the seeds of Kinzai Jizo, but the native plants in the game can simulate the same growth environment. It's no wonder that Zhang Luiying is being targeted by the other members of the Medical Alliance. Such planting talent is rare in the world. Zhang Changfeng looked at Sci-Fucking's expression, "You should pull out all the herbs in Ghost Valley," and his forehead jumped. Did the Lord of Ghost Valley really have no urge to beat his prodigal apprentice to death? If the matter is settled, I'll leave first. Sci-Fucking waved his hand, "I have to record the show when I go back. I can't be out for too long." Zhang Changning sent her out, and stuffed her with a box of snacks and pork jerky. After Zhang Changfeng received the 3 medicinal herbs in the red sandalwood box, he saw Jiang's mother staring at him. Zhang Changfeng was seen taking a step back. "Mom. Hey, I just saw that Miss Si is pretty and well behaved at first. It fits my vision very well. I want to match you." Jiang's mother picked up the vegetable basket and shook her head. "Now I think it's okay, you're not worthy of it." Zhang Changfeng. Here. Sci-Fucking rushed back to the camp before 9 o'clock. She easily caught 2 big geese. Big Goose closed his eyes and tilted his head, apparently knocked unconscious. Director. He couldn't keep smiling at all. With the return of Sci-Fucking, the barrage also instantly increased. Big Goose bites can hurt. I was pushed up by Goose when I was a child. Sci-Fucking is really awesome, he can catch anything. I saw the tidbits released by the program team including Crocodile Lake, Squatting 1. Let me help. Su Jianian stood up and smiled gently, "Mr. Si really worked hard. Success." Sci-Fucking threw it to him, "Then you come." Su Jianian took it. "It has to be a dozen pounds, right?" "Probably." Sci-Fucking said, "Come on, Teacher Yuan, Teacher Shen, Yao Yao, have some snacks." She politely asked Qi Shuning, who was on the side, "Do you want to have some too?" Qi Shuning still refused. "Stomach is a little uncomfortable, so I stopped eating." "Teacher Si, here's the paper." Su Jianian came back after handling the 2 big geese, handed over 2 wet tissue papers, and smiled slightly, "There is dust here, please wipe it." Su Jianian's fans were keenly aware that something was wrong. Don't you think that Jianian's eyes when looking at Sci-Fucking are very gentle? This is a survival variety show and not a love variety show, it always feels weird. I beg the current rookie stars to take the right path, don't think about pulling the old seniors to stir up the CP to get the heat, don't be green tea again and again. Su Jianian is a hot top streamer, and 90% of his fans are girlfriend fans and wife fans. The last female star who had an affair with him is still scolding on Weibo. Red is red, and black powder is also a lot. But precisely because of the popularity, there are still many brokerage companies trying to bundle their female artists with Su Jianian. Do you have persecutory delusions? Didn't you see that your brother took the initiative to come over? Laughs, my wife only loves money, your brother doesn't look like money at all, so I don't want to make an appointment. Female stars are only engaged in career, not in love, and roll away. It's delicious. Ning Luiao looked adoring, Ching Ching, you are so good at cooking, what else is there that you can't? I didn't do this. Sci-Fucking calmly said, my girlfriend did it. I dug a hole to hide it, and the director didn't find it. Su Jianian's hand paused. The barrage is even more of a question mark. You have a dog outside behind my back. Who? Which rival? Stand up and draw your knife. Sci-Fucking raised his head, aimed at the camera, with a serious expression, all the lovely girls are my girlfriends. Save, how could she be so flirtatious as a girl? I announce that today I am Sci-Fucking's girlfriend fan. Girlfriend fan add 1. Ning Luiao was surprised, wow, then me too. Qi Shuning couldn't listen anymore, so he stood up and went for a walk around. She simply didn't know what strange things Sci-Fucking said, what kind of girlfriend, she was simply insane. But the fans still eat this set, and they are also the fans, and they are a little sick. At this time, Sijukan. The hospital was brightly lit, and people came and went. Zhou Tianfeng waited outside anxiously. This time, he had gone through a lot of connections before he made an appointment with the Lin family's doctor, and he didn't know if he could save Zhou Zonghe. It took another hour before the lights in the operating room dimmed. The door opened and the doctor came out. Zhou Tianfeng hurriedly stepped forward. "Doctor, how is my son? Have you saved your life?" Zhou Zonghe's injuries were so severe that Madame Zhou fainted at first sight. "No, it's too late," the doctor shook his head. "He's awake, so go in and have a look." "No, didn't you keep it?" Zhou Tianfeng seemed to be struck by lightning, and he was lost. "How is it going to be passed down from generation to generation?" He clenched his fists and waited until the nurse transferred Zhou Zonghe to the ward before entering. Zhou Zonghe was wrapped in bandages all over his body, and when he saw Zhou Tianfeng coming in, he was instantly excited. "Dad, Dad. What's wrong?" Zhou Tianfeng took a deep breath. "What the hell happened to you? Who harmed you?" He must let the person who harmed his son die without a burial. "Dad, Dad," Zhou Zonghe was a little unclear. "Si she is. Si, Zhou Tianfeng's face sank as soon as he heard the name. "What is she?" "The weather in Xi'an these few days has directly transitioned to summer, and hot people are stupid. Spoiler, Your Majesty is not the Ovo who got dumped with money. There are a few foreshadowings ahead of this medical teacher. Ching ching, you can look back. See you tomorrow." You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. After having everything taken away, she returns as a god. Author, Qing Qian. Chapter 189. Zhou Tianfeng of course knew that Sci-fi was recording the show in the mountains and forests in Nanzhou. This time Zhou Zonghe became like this, and of course he had nothing to do with Sci-fi. The internet even said that Sci-fi was a koi carp, and he saw her as a broom star. Since Sci-fi left the Zhou family has not lived in peace for a day. Yes, yes. Zhou Zonghe's expression was very anxious. He grabbed Zhou Tianfeng's shoulder and stared. "She is a ghost, a ghost." "Is she a ghost?" Zhou Tianfeng laughed angrily. "Don't tell me, she pretended to be a ghost and scared you into this." As if recalling something terrifying, Zhou Zonghe's expression suddenly distorted and his breathing became difficult. He struggled desperately, his head suddenly tilted, and he passed out. "Doctor! Doctor!" Zhou Tianfeng was shocked and hurriedly rang the bell. "Doctor! What's wrong with my son?" The doctor, who had only rested for a few minutes, hurried over and immediately transferred Zhou Zonghe to the ICU. This operation did not last long. After 10 minutes, the door opened. Zhou Tianfeng stepped forward. "Doctor, my son he..." The doctor sighed. "Mr. Zhou, please condolences, we tried our best." Zhou Tianfeng's body shook. What? But he was fine just now, and he was talking to me. We saved his life, but he has become a vegetative state," the doctor euphemistically said. "In short, he was frightened by something, which caused some tissue damage to his brain. We tried our best to ensure his life, otherwise it would not just be as simple as turning into a vegetative state. The worst result is brain death." Zhou Tianfeng's face was instantly pale. He stepped back a few steps and fell to the ground. A vegetable. His only son turned into a vegetative person. What is the difference between this and the aftermath? Mr. Zhou can also recall what you said before that irritated the patient. The doctor shook his head. He was so frightened that he didn't want to recall it at all. Zhou Tianfeng frowned. Stimulate. But they only talked about Sci-fi, which was proposed by Zhou Zonghe. Thank you so much. Zhou Tianfeng forced a smile. You must give my son the best treatment. It is also possible for a vegetative person to wake up. The doctor hesitated. Okay. Zhou Tianfeng went downstairs. Zhou Xianyu was waiting in the lobby on the first floor. Seeing him come down, she got up. "Dad, brother," he snapped. Before she could finish speaking, a slap slapped her face fiercely. The force was so great that Zhou Xianyu's head was hit in the past. She covered her face in disbelief. "Dad, when did Zhou Tianfeng beat her? If you hadn't given your eldest brother that bad idea, would your eldest brother have become like this?" Zhou Tianfeng gritted his teeth. "I told you to rest at home and have a good rest. What do you do when you say you have nothing to do? Are you satisfied now? Your eldest brother has become a vegetative person, your third sister has entered the game again, and you are the only one left. The Zhou family is still at the forefront of public opinion. Are you happy?" "Dad, this is not my intention at all." Zhou Xianyu took a deep breath. "I specifically called my eldest brother, and he said that everything went well and I sent a reporter there." "Everything went well?" Zhou Tianfeng slapped her again. "You still dare to tell me that everything went well? Go away. I don't want to see you now." Zhou Tianfeng left without looking back. Behind him, Zhou Xianyu clenched his fists. She has been in the Zhou group for so long, and she has signed many large orders with the company, but in the end, she is still no match for the idol Zhou Zonghe. Does gender matter that much? Zhou Zonghe herself was attacked by a group of wild dogs. Can this be blamed on her? Zhou Xianyu carried the bag and left the hospital with the strange eyes of the people around him. At 10 o'clock in the evening, the recording of the day ends. After Si finished washing, he got into his cabin and received news from Zhang Changning. "Zhang Changning, my dad has been dancing all day." Si returned a question mark. "Zhang Changning, he was so excited that you gave him the 3 herbs. My mother told him to stop and he didn't stop." Si. No wonder Zhang Changfeng didn't take more, because he was afraid that Zhang Luiying would faint from too much excitement. "Zhang Changning, I also saw the news that the eldest young master of the Zhou family has become a vegetative person, and he wants to be wicked to you, which is really evil." Si narrowed his fox eyes. After Zhou Zonghe's luck was completely taken back by her, she naturally started without any scruples. But she didn't check what medicine Zhang Changfeng gave Zhou Zonghe. The tool man is indeed a tool man, and the tools are not generally well used. Si was about to play a small game to sleep when a phone call came in. Caller ID, Yu Zion. Si stared at the name for a while, then picked it up. "Hello." Yu Zion said, "I'm outside." "Are you outside?" Si paused. "You won't come to the show team, will you?" "Well," he said lightly, "pick you up." Si hung up the phone and slipped out of the show camp familiarly. Sure enough, I saw a tall figure behind the bushes. The man leaned against the tree, standing tall and jade, ending USE. The moonlight fell on his eyebrows, and a layer of silver light fell, making him even more handsome. I have to admit that this person is too good looking, and when he sees his face, he loses his anger. Does she look like that? Si thought about it and sighed. Well, she is not only face control, but also voice control. Sorry, Yu Zion opened his eyes. At that time, I had a leg disease, so I had to borrow your car to avoid it. I didn't mean to hurt you. Si folded his arms. I didn't say forgive you anyway. Yu Zion hummed, and a faint smile burst into his eyes. The girl said, how can I forgive? Damn, it's a sound attack. Si quickly stepped back. Boss, be serious. Obviously it's an old saying, why did it not violate the harmony at all from her boss's mouth? This is for you. Yu Zion took out a box and handed it over. It's an apology. Inside the box is a string of bracelets with more than 20 beads, each of which is different in color and shade, like tourmaline. Si could see at a glance that this bracelet was not ordinary. She also smelled a faint aroma. The beads on this are not ordinary jade, Each one is wrapped with different medicinal materials. Uzion nodded, it's pure natural and good for the body. You often have low blood sugar, so it's better to carry it with you. You should bring such a good thing, boss. As if he realized something again, Si said immediately, of course not, boss, you are strong. I should take it with me if I am so weak. Uzion closed her eyes and seemed a little helpless. Si happily put on the bracelet, which gleamed in the light, as if a streamer was flowing on it, which was very beautiful. Boss, your jade pendant is still with me. She turned around, I'll give it to you tomorrow. No, it's for you. Uzion hummed, it's getting late, go back and rest. I'll prepare gifts for you, too. Si waved his hand, good night, boss. After Si left, Feng San came over from the opposite side and said cautiously, ninth brother, did you coax Miss Si? Uzion sighed softly, if she is really angry, it will be very difficult to coax her. Feng San's whole body was a little numb. Sure enough, if you follow Miss Si, you will be able to watch Brother 9 make exceptions again and again. His dark guard career is complete. Early the next morning. A new recording starts. Come here, let's draw lots. The assistant director came over with 6 letters, this is your reminder message today, you must take it well, or you won't be able to eat until the finish line. He added in time, teacher Si is not allowed to help. The program bug Si died of laughter, the director team was scared. Fleeing from the primitive tribe today, I am looking forward to a full-fledged wife fighting the primitive with bare hands. Mr. UN, let's smoke first. Si said, just give me the remaining one. Good boy, then I'm welcome. UN Hepping took the lead in drawing a letter. After the others finished smoking, Si picked up the last one. She opened it up. Welcome, brave survivors, from now on, you have to survive in this forest, the guardians of our forest will attack you every hour, please work hard to get rid of their attacks and move forward. You have only one purpose, and that is to live. Si folded the envelope and put it in his pocket. Ning Luiao raised her hand tremblingly, can I ask what the guardians have? This, there are many. The assistant director snapped his fingers, there must be primitive people, as well as werewolves and undead, cows, horses, sheep and so on. UN Hepping was shocked, undead and werewolves. Si said lazily, the program team finds someone to pretend to be. The real werewolf usually doesn't appear during the day, and the undead are invisible when they appear. UN Hepping hesitated. UN Hepping, why are you so skilled again? Si gave me a feeling that she had really seen werewolves and undead. Okay, everyone is ready. The assistant director smiled, after you get the keys, you can see our mysterious flying guests today. The 6 set off. Inside the tent, the director asked, did you see which way she drew just now? It seems to be no 4. The coordinator recalled, that road is the only road without obstacles. Director. He can't breathe. Why is Si so lucky to draw lots? There is indeed no obstacle on the number 4 road, but it also needs to be decrypted. This really does not have any difficulty for Si. This time, before even 40 minutes had passed, she reached the finish line set by the program team and received a green-faced director. After a while, Su Jianian came late. He was in good condition, but his clothes were tattered, and he had apparently been hunted down quite a few times. Then the other 4 also arrived one after another, somewhat embarrassed. Especially UN Hepping and Chi Shunning. The 2 encounter not only primitive people, but also werewolves and undead. The 3 forest guardians have gathered. UN Hepping was almost tied back by the primitive man. Fortunately, his martial arts was not practiced in vain, and he finally escaped. Seeing Si lying on the grass basking in the sun, UN Hepping couldn't hold back, you haven't met the guardians. They are very cruel. No. Si turned the hat in his hand, I haven't met them all the way. I want to see how cruel they are. UN Hepping. Chi Shunning pursed his lips. Sci-fucking's luck is really good. She doesn't believe that the show team is not partial. After all, on the first day that the assistant director brought Sci-fucking over, he said that they should take more care of her. Is it really appropriate for the show to open the back door so openly? Okay, take out the keys you got. The assistant director walked over with his hands behind his back. Open this door and you will see today's mysterious flying guests. The barrage came alive. Hurry up. I want to meet the mystery guest. Who is it? The six walked over and inserted the key they got into the lock hole. Squeak, the door opened. A figure gradually appeared. The handsome young man raised his head and showed a faint smile. Hello everyone. Hum. What did I see? I saw my husband. Godsu. It's Godsu. He actually came to participate in a variety show, Yekingja. The live broadcast room is full of exclamation marks. There is also a gap between top stream and top stream. Fans of powerful singers also tend to be more affectionate. Su Yang is the tip of the pyramid, there is no doubt about that. It's just that he and Su Jianian are not in the same circle, a singer, a film and television actor, and the entertainment circle will not compare the two. But after competing on the same stage, the difference is obvious. Not to mention the audience in the live broadcast room, even the resident guests were shocked. Su Jianian's expression stagnated for a moment. He didn't receive the news that Su Yang was coming at all. Hello, teacher Su. Su Jianian came back to his senses, stretched out his hand, and smiled. Your song is very nice, I like it very much. Su Yang shook hands with him and said lightly, hello. Mr. Su, I don't know if you still remember me. Chi Shunning stepped forward a little nervously. You came to Daxia last year as a guest and recorded a talk show. Su Yang politely said, I have the impression that your surname is Chi, right? Yes, Chi Shunning was very happy. Mr. Su, you still remember, I am so honored. Sci-fucking also greeted him without saying much. Sci-fucking doesn't know who Su Yang is, right? Look at her calm look. What, are you kidding? Several students under teacher SI were signed away by Su Yang. Su Yang signed the student because the investor of youth was too much. He and Sci-fucking had no communication throughout the whole process, and the two did not know each other. Sci-fucking's fans are so embarrassed, saying that Su Jianian is close to your sister, and now Su Yang is also involved. What's the matter? The two top players are all around your sister? Su Yang has a cold temper and doesn't like to talk. But Yuan Hepping has always been familiar with it. Xiao Su, I heard that you have been living abroad before. Yuan Hepping smiled. Why did you think of returning to China? Well, I used to wander abroad as a street performer or sing in a bar. After earning enough money, I finished my studies. Su Yang said, after all, Daxia is where I was born, and I will definitely come back. You are so young. Yuan Hepping sighed, you are really amazing. Su Yang lowered his eyes and smiled, someone help me, otherwise I wouldn't have survived. Suddenly there were several goose calls from the right. The two looked over. Don't move, Sci-fucking clasped the big goose's neck with one hand, today it's either you or me. Yuan Hepping. Su Yang. He began to think silently, did Sci-fucking drink some wine before recording the show? Xiao Su, don't be frightened by fucking. Yuan Hepping hurriedly said, she has a very good personality, and she caught all our food these days. Su Yang thought thoughtfully, I see it. It seems that this variety show is very suitable for Sci-fucking. But this goose was a bit unlucky, how did it happen to bump into it? Teacher Su Jianian stepped forward, let me help you tie up this goose. Fu raised his hand and knocked the big goose dizzy with a smack, tie it up, and remove the hair by the way. Su Jianian smiled, very gently, okay. Served, Can Si fucking stay away from my brother? Does she know the status gap between the two in the entertainment industry, a top streamer, a new idol? Can't you see it? Don't rub my brother, the female stars who rubbed are all dead. When Si fucking has his own film and television works, let's talk about it again. Si fucking wiped his hands, picked up a goose feather that fell on the ground, and stuck it on Xiaobai's tail. Xiaobai flicked his tail unwillingly. It has round hair and hates flat hair. The assistant director distributes the noon resources over there. Su Yang got his package and pointed to the bracelet on Si fucking's hand. Everyone could hear him. When did you still like to carry this kind of thing? I haven't seen you carry it before. Good morning, good weekend. After having everything taken away, she returns as a god. Author, Qing Qian. Chapter 190. It's pretty quiet around. Everyone looked over, and the photographer was dumbfounded. Si fucking, who was still licking his little white fur, slowly raised his head, and the fox's eyes narrowed slightly. As soon as Su Yang said these words, the barrage stopped for a moment, and then suddenly exploded. Pin, you carefully scrutinized the sentence. I haven't seen you bring it before. Needless to say how much familiarity is revealed in this sentence. You, if Su Shen took the initiative to speak, Si fucking has already won the numbness, right? Let me ask you, when have you seen such a restrained person take the initiative? Xiao Su and Fu Qing know each other. Yuan Heping was the first to regain his senses and touched his head embarrassedly. The two of you greeted so officially before, I thought it was the first time we met. Su Yang received Si fucking's murderous gaze. He smiled politely. When I went abroad more than a year ago, I met Mr. Si working in a bar, and I got to know him. I admire Mr. C's talent very much. I didn't expect to find out that Mr. Si was from youth a while ago. Dance instructor, this time is even more coincidental. Si fucking also snorted. I was poor at the time, so I could only work in a bar. I was lucky. I see Yuan Heping patted his chest. It scared me. Su Yang's inquiring eyes fell on her hands again. I just put it on yesterday. Si fucking shook his strong wrist bones. His tone was very dangerous. Does it look good? This fellow has affected her perfect salted fish life. As if he didn't notice the crisis at all, Su Yang nodded slightly. That's right, but I didn't expect you to be so, and even wear jewelry. Shen Su, you're wrong. Ning Luiao immediately retorted. Although Qing Qing is very manly, she is the most beautiful girl I've ever seen. What's wrong with wearing some jewelry? Si fucking glanced at Su Yang, hooked Ning Luiao's shoulder, and said, my girlfriend can talk, you straight man go. Su Yang obediently took a few steps back. The audience in the live broadcast room has been split and can't be split anymore. Si fucking is too low-key, but if she says she and Su Yang know each other, her resources shouldn't skyrocket. Laughing, she didn't say she knew, she said she was low-key. If she said she knew, you should say that she was hot, and you said everything. Confused, how did Si fucking treat a boy older than her as a sibling? Xiaoyu was, and so was Su Yang. My sister exudes the breath that I am the boss. I have an unreliable guess, not because Xiaoyu and Su Ziun are capable of being noticed by Su Yang, but because Si fucking watched this show. The last time he suddenly appeared in Linkhung, wasn't it because Si fucking called him over, then that drummer? Do not scare me. The audience immediately turned over the issue of Youth and Youth to pick up the details. It's a pity that Si Fu was very strict, and they didn't pick up anything. But just based on Su Yang's attitude towards Si fucking today, it was already a big explosion. Soon Si fucking's fans increased by hundreds of thousands. Qi Shunning squeezed the cake in his hand tightly, only to feel that there was stagnation in his chest, and he couldn't spit it out. She originally thought that among the guests, the one who knew Su Yang the most should be her. She can take this opportunity to have further communication with Su Yang, and maybe invite him to participate in the show she hosts. But who would have thought that Si fucking and Su Yang knew each other before? Chi Shunning took a deep breath. Why is she always being held down by Si fucking? It's really wicked. The tutor asked her to look at Si fucking's strengths, but she didn't see anything. It's just that the lens is really going to be robbed. She needs to figure out a way to stop sitting still. All supplies have been distributed. The guests who had been wrestling with the forest guardian for a long time all sat down to rest, and Su Yang naturally chose Si fucking's side. On the other side is Ning Luiao. Su Jianian paused and could only sit elsewhere. Cooking is also an important part of survival. Ning Luiao is cooking porridge with fresh foie gras, which is fragrant. Si fucking took a bite of the pie and said in a voice that only two people could hear, "You are really sinister. Fortunately you are a singer-songwriter and can make up stories. Yes, you didn't cause me any trouble, I'll let you go this time." Already? Su Yang. He didn't know for a moment whether he was complimenting him or scolding him. "Didn't you see that Su Jianian was very attentive to you?" Su Yang frowned. "I'm also a man, I think he's very wrong. He looks at you aggressively, and looks at you, like he's evaluating the goods." "Oh, you mean he's too enthusiastic about me?" Si fucking touched his chin. "Isn't he a tool guy who helps me kill geese? I didn't pay much attention, but you reminded me, I'll pay more attention later." "Don't worry, I don't like him. Xiaoshang and Saner are much better looking than him. I don't know how he can be the top class with you. If Niu is pushed forward for 20 years, he will be nothing like everyone else." "No way. 20 years ago in the Daxia entertainment industry, 100 flowers were blooming, and there were all styles, regardless of the strength of the company behind it, and only relying on individuals to break through." Su Yang. He overestimated Su Jianian's status. Su Yang thought for a while, but still said, "Sister, after you were drunk that day, it was your boss who picked you up, his legs, he." "Damn liar." Si fucking broke the pie in his hand. "Humph, for the sake of his good looks, I won't bother with him." Su Yang. He was completely convinced, and finally chose to chat with Yuan Heping. Yuan Heping really likes Su Yang's songs, and is happy to cultivate the younger generation. The two chatted happily. With a face full of lovelessness, "What happened to Su Shen? Si fucking is really amazing, other female stars would like to stick to him when they see Su Yang, she just wants to drive Su Shen away." Si fucking, "I only have prey in my eyes, don't disturb my cooking." Career female star, "I love it." On the OB van, the director looked at the rising popularity index in the background, and was a little surprised to find that Si fucking was on par with Su Yang in the discussion of the barrage, and even had a tendency to surpass it gradually. You must know that Su Yang is the top streamer, and the top traffic is killing other stars in seconds. But Si fucking was not suppressed. The assistant director was triumphant. "Did you see that? Miss Si is your guarantee for the ratings of this show, and she can do anything. Look at other female stars, how dare you go directly to catch the big goose like her, and you will be out of breath when you climb a mountain." Director. He really doubted whether Si fucking had practiced. She and Su Yang know each other, the director was curious, why haven't I heard of it before? Su Yang's interpersonal relationship is very simple, and he has no communication with anyone in the circle. Si fucking was also the first person he knew in public. More than just acquaintance, the assistant director lowered his voice. "I was able to invite Mr. Su because I was fortunate enough to go to Miss C's celebration banquet. Don't look at Mr. Su being very cold outside, and being good in front of Miss Si. Just like my brother. My dear, my hair fell out of shock that day. Let me tell you again. Those netizens guessed right. The drummer that day was Mr. Su." The director was shocked that the thermos cup in his hand hit his foot. He cried out in pain. "Damn it," the director suddenly clapped his hands, You're making a fool of Su Yang in the first issue, and the guests in the next issue are not enough to watch. He remembered that the next issue will also be a few traffic idols, one surnamed Meng, who was stuffed by a director he knew. What's the matter? The assistant director didn't care at all. Isn't it enough to have Miss Si? The director fell into silence again as he watched the barrage of wife and wife go catch the goose. He lit a cigarette. You're right, Teacher Si is really good, but her resources in the entertainment industry are really too poor. I can't watch it anymore. It just so happens that my old friend has a script. You come, it's time to ask Miss Si to see if you have time to audition. What script? The assistant director asked. Can you get a star? If you don't get a star, you can't do it. He has worked with the director for many years, and he knows that the director has a great say in Daxiatai. Xiangxia drama, can't get a star, the director slowly said, but with Tang Haiqiu's golden brand name, it can't fail no matter what. It must be the next Xiangxia drama. Many people are staring at this resource, including the first-line female stars under Shengxing Entertainment. The competition is fierce. Although Lao Tang and I are good friends, we can't influence his casting. We can only give him a chance to audition. Let's see if she can handle it. Tang Haiqiu, the first person in Daxia Xiangxia. 10 years ago, he made a sword immortal, which became popular throughout the Great Xia Empire. The heat is still very high. The protagonists and supporting roles in Sword Fairy are also instant hits. It can be seen how strong Tang Haiqiu's ability to hold people is. Especially in the past few years, there have been many fairy dramas produced in Daxia, all of which are only dressed in the romance of Xiangxia, and there is no magical drama that can compare with Sword Immortal. The audience is looking forward to Tang Haiqiu's new works. It is said that 1,000 years after the Sword Immortal, a new Three Realms was born in chaos. Online expectations are also high. Tang Haiqiu's drama, the assistant director's expression also cheered. No problem, I'll ask after today's recording is over. I believe Miss Si will definitely be able to take it down. The director shook his head. Don't be too confident, we don't know what her acting skills are like. The assistant director waved his hand. Don't worry, there is no Miss Si who can't. Director. At 10 o'clock in the evening, the live broadcast ends. Since Su Yang was a flying guest and had no extra temporary tent, the program team booked him the nearest hotel. Fu Qing, hurry up, go and send Xiao Su. Yuan Heping smiled. Hello Xiao Su, don't be so fierce to him. Si fucking raised his eyebrows. I'm fierce. Su Yang said with kindness, I think it's pretty good. Yuan Heping. One is willing to fight and the other is willing to suffer, what he can say. Si fucking was also about to find an excuse to go out for a walk, so he escorted Su Yang to the hotel. By the way, you'd better follow me tomorrow, she said. I think with your physical strength, you may not be able to escape the python's lair. Su Yang. Is this show still attended by people? After Si fucking returned to the program group, he was called away by the assistant director. And the other side. The agent entered Su Jianian's tent. You don't really see your boss fucking, do you? The agent frowned. Yes, you're almost 30, it's impossible for you not to fall in love, but you have to find someone with a similar status to you, right? Talking with Si fucking, of course, the woman took advantage. Maybe the other party just used Su Jianian as a springboard. This kind of selfishness is not uncommon in the entertainment industry. He heard from the gossip that Su Yang's ex-girlfriend abandoned him for money and power. In the end, within 2 years, Su Yang jumped to the top. Who knows how his ex-girlfriend feels now? Regarding Su Jianian's desire to find Si fucking to fall in love, the agent strongly disagreed. Su Jianian smiled and didn't answer, but instead asked, don't you think she's a good shield? The agent was stunned. Shield? What do you mean? There are many people who follow me, and there are many paparazzi staring at me, Su Jianian said lightly. If this continues, my normal life will be disrupted. Isn't Yuji always wanting news about my relationship? Then I'll give them a target and let them shoot. He said, and smiled again, and I'm just a little ambiguous in my attitude, but I've never said anything that makes people misunderstood, and it's very convenient to retreat after I've used up my whole body. She's very pretty, and I'm pretty good too. Happy to be close to her, I have nothing to lose. Of course, this is just one of them. The most important thing is that he already has a girlfriend who is in a relationship, and the other party is also an insider, but he is still a newcomer in the beginning stage of his career. The agent didn't know about this, so Sujianian naturally wouldn't say it. He also knew that his girlfriend and wife had a lot of fans, and it was dirty to scold people. Of course, he didn't want the people he liked to be scolded. But if it was Sci-fi who was being scolded, he would feel guilty at best. So in order to protect his personal privacy, and to protect his new girlfriend from being chased and scolded by fans, Sci-fi's shield couldn't be better. Sci-fi, I've cleaned it all the way, don't even think about living the cancer in the entertainment industry. Thank you for your tickets and rewards, see you tomorrow.